Well, good morning, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. What a honor it is to be here this morning with all of you. I can't tell you what a little charge it gives us as we're getting ready to do the show. We see you in the YouTube chat, like, let's go. Let's have a great day. I love it. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Let's get our heads right on a Friday. I'm Woodsy. Paul Reindl's our executive producer. Good morning, Paulie.
Hey, how are you?
Doing good, buddy. And Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Chairman, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Happy Friday to everyone, and specifically to you, the manager and president of baseball operations of your minor B franchise.
Yep, we will be going as the Washington Nationals, and it's the cool Cooperstown cherry blossom version of the Washington Nationals.
Oh, I like that.
I did too. It was a pick that came in late from my son. He changed his mind, and he wanted Washington. And I suspect, because there's a W on the hat, which I love that about him. He wants to rep his brand, and I really appreciate that. So I did end up with the second pick for the team, and I took the Nationals. And, so we'll be the Nats. And then we can get into the draft and all of that, but it was amazing. It was so much fun. I had the time of my life. I really did. It was longer than it should have been. It was 3.5 hours long.
Oh my God.
From stem to stern.
Yeah, you texted us at like 9:30.
Yeah.
And I go, if me and Ben asked you to do anything at 9:30, you would have just like ended the friendship. You're like, no, I had no chance of that happening. I was shocked to see you say like the draft just ended. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it ended at 9:30 last night. My eyes were crossing, and I got to tell you guys something, and you're going to think I'm crazy. But when I walked into the draft room at 5:45 for a 6:00 draft, I was the first one there, go figure. And I sat down, and I got the draft sheet, and I didn't know where I picked yet. And I was sitting there, and I'm scrolling through my notes, and I'm looking at all the kids and the ratings, again, that I had to rely on from other people. And I started to get insanely anxious. And you see all the slots that you have to fill. And again, man, 14 teams, 12 to 13 kids a team, that's going to take a while. So you start looking at that and panicking. And then, man, the clock starts and you're on it and it's your first pick. The first kid I was going to take, they're like, oh, no, he's playing minor A. I'm like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'll just pivot to this guy. You know what I mean? So I started to think to myself, this is for minor B. I would say the stakes are relatively low. Agreed? We all agree that the stakes of the minor B season are relatively low. Relatively, I want to do a good job. I want all the kids to have a great experience, but the stakes are fairly low, fairly. And I sat there and I put myself in the shoes of our real president of baseball operations, AJ Preller, and having to do this, every year, multiple times, right? You got the internet. Well, there's all kinds of things that they do, but the draft, when you sit in that room and you have your targets and you see your targets come off the board and you're like, oh God, I really wanted that guy. I really, really wanted that guy, or I've heard good things. I can't even imagine what goes through. And then you realize, like, when I picked a kid, I'm not changing. I may change his life, but I'm not changing his life like AJ Preller is changing someone's life. And I thought,
they're not moving to a new city.
Dude, yes.
They're not starting a journey in some sort of far-flung location.
Right. But I'm sitting there thinking the pressure that is on him. I've never, or a GM in football, or a GM in basketball, or a GM anywhere that has to do this for a living. I can't imagine the rush that they get and the fear that they have, because my stomach was in knots. It was in knots when I was drafting these kids, man. And then you're looking, you're like, please don't take this guy. Please don't take him. Please don't take him. Please. Yes. And then you get your guy and you're like, oh. So it was awesome. I had the time of my life. It was so much fun, but it was really long. And the coaches, I got to tell you, was worried about the coaches, right? Based on, just a couple of things I saw in the chat. And then you get in there and you meet the guys, and they were fantastic. Every one of them, to a man, fantastic people. and just want to be there. They want to help, want to take care of their kids. It was incredible. The dads were amazing, and it was so cool. And there were probably 5 guys in there that listened to the show, which was nice. And one guy, this made me laugh. And then I started thinking about it. I go, oh no, that's not insulting at all. He said, hey, because I'm a listener of your show. And I said, oh, thank you. He was sitting at my table. And I said, I appreciate it. And he goes, yeah, it's just like white noise for me. And if eventually, at first I go, at first I was like, oh, that's kind of insulting. And then I was like, no, actually, you're actually kind of the dream, to be honest with you. And I looked at him and I go, hey, man, I don't care how intently you listen, just as long as you listen. I really don't care at all.
You can turn the volume down.
Turn it down.
If it's on 97.3 on your dial, works for us.
From 6 to 10?
If we could have every person in San Diego tuned in, but not really paying attention, that might be the actual perfect scenario you can come up with as a morning radio host.
Your assistant coach or your coach friend, he sounds like the dream listener. Like, oh yeah, I always have you guys on. I don't really pay attention though, because
it's pretty elite.
The guy that calls in or goes in the chat or DMs us and says he listened but didn't actually listen, then it's like, bro, what are you even talking about?
Yeah, you didn't hear that correctly, or you get mad at me or us or something. Like, I go, oh, the white noise listener. I go, maybe that's the dream. It's just the guy that's like, yeah, I got it on, but you guys are fine. The one that got me a couple weeks ago at the meeting was the guy that hit somebody, brought up in the original meeting, like, oh no, he's on Ben and Woods, and the guy goes, well, what's that? And I was like, oh, and then I'm in the corner, right? And I'm like, oh, it's a radio show I do. He's like, oh, yeah, no, I've never heard of it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. What do you do? You're in accounting? Yeah, I have no idea how to do that either. I didn't say anything. I just was like, there's a nice way to let me know that you don't respect what I do, in my opinion. There's a nice way to do that. This guy's not in
well, now we'll know the next time you see that guy, if he comes up to you, he's like, hey, how's that little podcast going or something that.
Yeah, exactly. So what do? You do a little podcast. I don't know. I don't listen to the radio. All right, great.
Oh yeah,
great.
yeah.
Well,
my son has a podcast too. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Well, I don't do accounting, so or commercial real estate or whatever it is that you do. But yeah, there's a nice way to do it. There's a nice way to do it. But no, the guys in there last night were so rad. We had such a good time. And it was very stressful, dude. It was very, very stressful. And when I got done and I looked at my roster, I went, I love this team. I love these kids. I've coached many of these kids. Bo's got good friends on the team. I don't know how we're going to measure up, but if I do my job, we should be in the hunt.
Well, I like the choice of the uniforms. The W on the hat is genius by Bo. And he actually might be the most popular Washington National by the end of the season, considering the direction they're heading. So,
yeah, James Wood still exists, but for how long? I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, Washington Nationals pulled off a big trade yesterday. We'll talk about that today, certainly. Benny, how was your day? How was moving day?
My day was pretty good. Yeah, I went out to Padres Truck Day, they call it, which is the day they pack up two
moving day is something different entirely.
Fully loaded semi-trucks with all the equipment that they need for basically 2 months in Peoria, Arizona. And I got there and I got to talk to TJ Laidlaw, who is the longtime clubhouse and equipment manager for the San Diego Padres. And a Tier 1 asked how I was feeling after my recent intestinal bout, which is nice that he cared about that. And got to hang out with the swinging friar, which is always entertaining. Did some stand-ups, got to chat with some of my fellow TV guys. John Howard from Channel 8 was there. And I'm gonna put John on blast just a little bit because
don't you dare.
He got everybody rolling their eyes quite a bit, including Tiffany from the Padres Public Relations Department, who was there, because he kept asking TJ about the various boxes, and I saw them as well because they pack up everything, and they had crates of jock straps and cups, and they were all very clearly labeled because everything at a baseball team is labeled, and there was jock straps medium, jock straps large, jock straps extra large, and jockstraps double extra large. And John really wanted to get a comment on, does everybody just request the double extra large, or like, how does that work? I mean, is it difficult to like assign, okay, you got a medium one and you're getting an extra large one, and TJ really didn't really want to go down that direction, but John definitely wanted some sort of soundbite about the jock straps.
He didn't want to do TJ didn't want to do wiener talk with the media.
No, he's not Stephen Woods.
Yeah, exactly. Even I would be like, hey, I wouldn't even ask that question down there. John, what is going on? I love John Howard so much. He's the greatest.
Hey, he's asking the real questions,
Yeah, he is. So here's all right. Am I naive to think that if I'm Jackson Merrill and I'm reporting for spring training soon, in my personal bag, I have my own cup and my own jock and my own sliding
team provided,
shorts.
I believe.
Yeah, okay. I guess they're fresh.
Yeah,
they're fresh. They're clean.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm sure they know exactly.
TJ said pretty
much
much everything is new every single year. There's not much that gets reused from year to year. So
yeah, I guess it doesn't make much sense to think of Jackson Merrill like, hang on, babe, like running down to Dick's before the season starts and like,
I need some new sliding shorts.
Speaking of wieners, but running down to Dick's, grabbing a new cup and a new jock for like. Here, let me get a couple because I'm off to Peoria grabbing it. I guess it doesn't make sense at the end of the day, but I just feel like that's such an intimate thing that I'm bringing my own, right? I think because there's a different fit and things like that. Alex in the chat, Ben, says you should be putting the Padres ownership on blast. So I'll sit back.
Oh, yeah.
And I will wait.
Why am I putting Padres ownership on blast? Why am I now just alone on the YouTube stream
to put them on blast?
I don't have.
Take them to task right now.
I don't have a hot take here for. I'm not taking Alex.
It's been 13 minutes already, and you haven't blasted Padres ownership.
They
today.
haven't signed anybody yet this morning. So
yeah.
There we go. All right, you're on blast.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I had the vision last night when I was going into the draft room. It took me back like almost exactly a year. We need to check the date on when we signed Nikki P. But I was in the Little League meeting last year when I got the notification from you guys that Nick Pivetta had signed with the Padres. And I thought, okay, now I'm walking into this draft room again, and it would be really cool if I came out and AJ Preller had signed somebody. But it was not to be. I tried to put it in the universe. I tried to manifest it. It did not work. But yeah, so that's kind of a bummer. It has been a little slow, but I think we've talked ad nauseum about what we feel is going to be their strategy, and that is just going to be the patient approach, and they're going to add kind of at the last minute would be all of our guesses. Framber Valdez is still out there. That would be, I'll take him, even though he was mean to his catcher that one time.
Is he the biggest name remaining?
Yeah,
available.
Yeah.
Right?
Free agency, absolutely.
By far. I mean, yes, he was mean to his catcher. There's no question. That was a jerk move, what he did to his catcher. If you missed it, catcher called a pitch, it got hit for a home run. He intentionally crossed his pitcher up on the next pitch and hit him in the chest. And the catcher was none too pleased, but he was like a rookie, couldn't say anything.
Yeah.
And Framber Valdez has been, summarily roasted by the media since that happened. And Ken Rosenthal even said yesterday, yeah, it's probably holding back his free agent market. Great. Lower his value, figure out a way to get creative with that guy, and then you are cooking with fire if you're the San Diego Padres. So I think they will be patient. I have not heard any rumors on Framber Valdez, but he does remain out there, and maybe his value is sliding because of his attitude. That's one I can look past. Spirit of competition. I was competing.
Yeah.
I was competing. I lost my cool.
He didn't beat up his wife or child abuse, animal abuse, something that you really can't just brush away.
It's hard to look past.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. It was in the heat of the moment. We've all said and done things in the spirit of being a competitor that we probably regret. I've thrown a helmet in my day. I've hit a teammate with a bat on accident. Dumb things. And if that's enough to keep – it's crazy, though. Like, when you look around baseball, if there's actually a GM in there clutching his pearls, it's like, well, I've got money, and I need a frontline starter. But he crossed his catcher up that one time on purpose, and we can't have that here. When you look at some of the people that have run between the lines on a Major League Baseball field before, it's pretty shocking to think that that is one – that's one that you're like, no, can't do that. How are we going to explain that to the fan base? Don't make me laugh because I will hack up my lung. But so, yeah, he's still out there. And I do get the sense that we're probably going to end up seeing a Max Scherzer or a Justin Verlander or something sign right before spring training and see if you can squeeze any more juice out of a lemon like that. And that's kind of where my head's at right now. So I'm kind of blissfully calm about it. I would love to see a couple of moves, but I'm also like, I can run it with what we have right now. It's not going to kill me.
Yeah, I definitely think, there's still a lot of guys out there. Max Scherzer reported this morning in The Athletic that he's kind of biding his time. He's got some targets where he'd like to land, but he's in no hurry. Could even be one of those situations where he signs in season like Roger Clemens did for his final year when he was 44 and signed in May. To pitch his last season. So there are still options out there, and A.J. Preller is still looking at those options. I mean, he was reportedly in the Freddie Peralta talks. I never thought he was going to have enough to land Freddie Peralta, which he didn't, but the fact that he's still looking and trying means the Padres aren't sitting on their hands and just going, all right, we're done. We're ready for spring training. They're still working. There's still guys out there. We'll talk about it coming up. I just wanted to throw in one more note from Truck Day, because as I was leaving there, Tony Gwynn Drive right there in the East Village, guy just sprints up to me at the end and say, I thought that was you. A big fan of the show, giant tier 1. And his handle on X is at Fire Fryer Talk. And he said, I wanted to give these to you and Wood. So I've got yours here in the studio. It's a pin. Now, I don't know how many left over he's going to have and how difficult it's going to be to give away, but they're Grit Squad pins. And I'm not sure that the Grit Squad phrase is going to be sticking around in the post-Mike Schilt era. But if you want one to remember Schilty by here, we've got one for you when you get back to the studio, Woods. Your very own Grit Squad. You can put it on the lapel of a nice jacket if you wanted. Just a nice little memorabilia. Reminder.
Well, listen, Schilty is gone. Stammen's going to have his own shtick now, right? Like, you have to have your own.
You have to have a shtick. I mean, is that required as a manager?
Well, I mean, you're talking the media every single day. Every day, you need something that you can kind of hang your hat on as far as the identity of your team. Things like that. Like, not every team has a bit. But I don't know. Like, I think Grit Squad's probably dead at this point. I mean, look, here's the deal. If our team ends up playing like the Grit Squad again, maybe you win 90 games again. But there were times last year when it wasn't the world's most enjoyable brand of baseball, to say the least, sacrifice bunting and things like that.
Grit Squad doesn't immediately automatically translate to good. It means it's kind of like how we talked about walk-off wins. Yeah, they're awesome in the moment, but it usually means you were down a lot or you blew a lead or something. You know what I mean? Like the Grit Squad, it's like maybe you shouldn't strive to be the Grit Squad. Like the Dodgers aren't the Grit squad. They're just like the win squad, right?
Yeah.
It's always good to keep fighting to the end of the game, no matter what. If that's what Grit Squad means, I'm okay with that.
But that means you were losing most of the game.
Or even if you're winning by one, just grit out some close wins. There's nothing wrong with that. But,
true.
Slam Diego. Now, that was a fun identity a few years ago. That was one that I think resonated with everybody. Now, you can't just announce at spring training, this year we're going to be Slam Diego. We're going to hit a lot of grand slams and 3-run home runs. And just you wait, because, it doesn't always work out that way, and that one happened very organically.
How about Slug Diego? Slug Diego works for me this year.
Better than Strand Diego.
Better than Strand Diego. I do not like the Strand Diego nickname. But no, hey, thank you for the pin. Maybe I'll use it for my team of gritty nationals that I'm going to be managing this year. Maybe I'll use it for that. The Grit Squad. I like that.
I'll give you mine as well. You can give them out as like player prizes at the end of the game or something.
It's not the worst idea you've ever had. Kids like that. I actually legitimately thought about getting some sort of, not a swag chain, but something to give to the elite practice performer of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like some sort of treat that's not, hey, here's a blow pop for you to rot your teeth with, or like, oh, here's a giant pouch of Big League Chew. I don't know. Maybe I could do like a can of Zyn for each kid that has a really, really outstanding.
I wouldn't do
practice. All right, that's probably not ideal.
Maybe a
either.
jug of eco water for every single top performer on your team.
Guys like, oh, cool, man. Thanks for the water, coach. Appreciate it. But
this is really, really great water, kids. You don't understand.
Maybe $20 in free play at 7 Mile Casino.
Could do that. Surfer likes the stickers on the helmet. That's a damn fine idea.
That's a good one.
Like the Buckeyes, how they do it. Now theirs gets ridiculous, but I do think it's a pretty good idea to get some stickers made up of man, you really gave everything you had at practice. Great idea, Carlos. Padres rally towel. I've got 7,000 of those. We have 7,000 of those to do with what we want. So I will bring those and I will get some stickers. I like that idea a lot. Love that idea.
Oh, and by the way, I wanted to thank you for one thing. As I was driving home, I called my mother, as I like to do at least a couple times a week. And
sweet angel.
She said, I could not stop laughing about Woods telling the story about his visit to the urologist earlier this week, which means, Woods, thanks to you, I had to have a long conversation with my mother about your junk.
Yes, my wiener. That was I've been thinking about it a lot since then. If you missed it, I had to go to the urologist to get a prescription, but he also decided to examine my penis at the same time, which I thought was I guess it's part of the job. But there's not, let me put it this way too. When you're deathly ill, you know what the last thing you want to happen is? Someone examining your penis. I'll just tell you that. That's the last thing on the planet that you want when you don't feel well, is someone saying, could you whip your penis out so that I can examine it? There's no ideal time for that.
There really isn't.
But it's certainly not when you're sick.
But it's 50 times worse when you just want to die and you don't feel good. You have a mask on because you're so sick. And the guy's like, let me see that thing. All right. Oh, yeah. Nice. Okay, there we go. So there we go. Well, I'm glad she enjoyed this story of my pain.
She's just mostly impressed by your candor and ability to talk about anything on the radio.
Yeah. It's also my biggest downfall as well. I get it. But we'll tell her I love her. I love her so much. She's the greatest. And let's get this thing cranked up today on a Friday.
Got a busy show. We'll set the menu for our Friday edition of Ben and Woods when we come back, including a couple of guests. We'll tell you why. Some interesting topics for you on a Friday. Ben Woods and Paul wrapping up our little weird week here in January. Let's get a check of traffic with Kelly Danick and then get things rolling on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, San Diego is an incredible place to live, but let's be honest, it's not getting any cheaper. Housing, healthcare, taxes, groceries, it all adds up. And when people start thinking about retirement, one fear rises to the top. What if my money doesn't last? That's where Trajan Wealth comes in. TRAJAN Wealth.com. Trajan Wealth's fiduciary advisors help people build retirement strategies designed for today's reality, factoring in inflation, market uncertainty, and the real cost of living right here in San Diego. They take the time to understand your goals and your comfort level because no two retirements look the same. Trajan Wealth has offices in Carlsbad and Del Mar, and they work with people who want confidence, not constant financial stress. If this has been on your mind, was on my mind at the age of 50, start with a conversation. Call 619-367-0207. Again, 619-367-0207. You can also learn more anytime at trajanwealth.com. That's trajanwealth.com. Trajan Wealth, plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC, SEC registered investment advisor. Client paid advertisement. Additional disclosures at trajanwealth.com.
Here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, we know how. The Friday edition of Ben and Woods, wrapping up our week. We are just 2 weeks away from the beginning of spring training in Peoria, Arizona. I was there yesterday as they shipped out the trucks with all the gear. And when I say all the gear, there's a lot of gear that you wouldn't expect. I was curious about some of the items, not the jock straps per se, like John Howard was, but they had an entire bin of lighters, like the long ones you use for your fireplace. And I was trying to think,
the Bic lighters,
like the big butane lighters, but with the long, not a like for a cigarette lighter, but the longer ones. And I asked TJ, so what do you use with all those lighters? And they said, well, we have candles. We like to make the clubhouse nice. And I was thinking, I don't remember ever being in a candlelit clubhouse before, but hey, if it works for them, they want to be prepared and have everything they need for spring training, which includes about 80 butane lighters for their trip to Peoria.
80 butane lighters. Okay. All right.
They've got everything. They take it all. And he says they don't want to forget anything. They invariably do, and we'll have to FedEx stuff and overnight stuff with UPS that they didn't remember to bring with them. But 2 trucks is a lot of gear when you see it being all loaded on for a couple of weeks stay at spring training, a couple of months stay at spring training. We got a busy show for you coming up today, including a pair of guests, and one of them, a little bit kind of last minute, but a very interesting explanation going around yesterday on the internet. That's actually been going on for a little bit, but explaining a little bit more about the Los Angeles Dodgers and one specific advantage that they have over every other team in baseball that not a lot of fans are aware of. Joon Lee, who used to be with ESPN, now independent sports journalist, put together pretty nice video explaining this thing about the Dodgers that honestly is a huge problem, I think, for Major League Baseball. And we're going to talk to Joon Lee coming up at 7:35 about what he's kind of looked into and has done a really good job explaining why the Dodgers get to keep an extra $66 million every single year that other teams in baseball don't get to keep, which
it's crazy.
It does sound a little insane. Like, why on earth should the Dodgers be given this enormous advantage when they already have several built-in advantages over most other Major League Baseball teams?
Yeah, it's really well done by Joon Lee. Excited to talk to him today. Watched those videos yesterday and breaks it down in a perfect way. And listen, I woke up this morning. My entire Twitter feed, guys, is basically talking impending lockout. And, that kind of bums me out. I also understand it. I really do understand it because everyone's kind of bracing themselves for what potentially could happen next season. I do want to remind everybody we do have a season this year, that we do need to play out. Can't just give the trophy to the Dodgers right now. But I do understand that. I understand the kind of doom and gloom that's surrounding the game of baseball right now. Again, as I retweeted yesterday, and I really liked this, I'm not in the camp, it says. Let's see. I'm far from in the Dodgers are ruining baseball guy, but what's up with every media personality shilling for them so hard? And I retweeted that. I was like, this is what we're talking about. Like every time you turn the TV on, I think yesterday was Dan Patrick, foul territory. I mean, you name it. Everyone is riding so hard for this team. Now, Ben, what is your theory on why? Because I got a couple of people in there that basically called me a moron because they said, well, it's not that hard to understand. Ex-players are going to side with the Dodgers. That makes sense to me. And media members want agent access. So they're going to side with the agents and the players. Basically, only butthurt fans of other teams side with the owners. I'm in no way siding with the owners. I am a pro-player guy. I'm a pro-labor guy. I don't know that a salary cap fixes baseball. I don't know that I would be an advocate for that. I really don't. But why am I being gaslit every day by national media telling me, no, dummy, you're just butthurt. This is awesome for baseball. This kicks ass.
I don't know. I mean, I think the former players thing, certainly they are going to love a franchise that spends a ton of money on players and don't want that to stop. So you're not going to see a ton of criticism of the Dodgers spending money by former players. Now, as for media members, I don't know if it has to do with agent access. I mean, the agents need the media probably more than the media needs the agents, to be honest. So I don't really follow that. But at the same time, look at TV numbers. Ratings have been high for baseball. Media, that's what media members like. We like good ratings. We like people consuming our content, which means watching baseball and talking about baseball. And in the last few years, there's been more and more people doing that. And the Dodgers are one of the big reasons for it. I can't deny that the Dodgers are a compelling story, whether you're cheering for them, which a lot 100%. Of people do. They have a giant fan base, or you think they're a villain. They are a talker. And, media members love big stories. And the Dodgers now, everything they do with Shohei Ohtani, it's outsized with their roster, with their media market, which makes them like a perfect media darling. So that, I think, is why you see media members, especially national media members, kind of going to bat for the LA Dodgers and the system, or at least not overly criticizing what's going on, because it's in our interests kind of to, keep fanning the flames of this Dodgers, controversy versus dynasty and just keep the talk going.
It's interesting. I mean, there's no question that it's interesting. And, this show in particular, we've made a lot of money on angering Dodger fans. It's not really why we do it, but man, they swim to it, like a shark to chum. They really do. If you say anything bad about them, this guy, here's his quote. It's very eloquent. I am Mike 26 says, "Stop crying, you effing loser." All right, Mike, you got me. I'm not really crying about it. As I said, I'm not in the Dodgers are ruining baseball camp. Now, when the lockout hits, I'll definitely have some fun saying thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, we've given the Dodgers their due on many occasions,
100%.
Many occasions over the years, for smart decisions, for investing in players. They have done a lot of very wise things and taken advantage of it. But Paulie has one of the clips from Joon Lee here that we're going to talk about with him in less than an hour. And if you want to hear someone crying about the Dodgers, it's going to happen after you hear this clip. If you haven't understood the explanation of what's going on in Major League Baseball, once you hear Joon, if you're a Padres fan, I think this is going to make you kind of irate. Here's what here's part of what Joon put together on the internet this week.
The first big turning point came when the Dodgers partnered with Time Warner Cable to launch Sportsnet LA. But because the Dodgers had just gone bankrupt and MLB wanted to help one of their historic franchises get better, there was an exception in the contract. Under MLB rules, teams are supposed to share a big chunk of their local TV money with the rest of the league. Think of it like a tax system. Big market teams help smaller teams so everyone has a chance to compete. That tax is roughly 1/3 of the team's local TV money. But when the Dodgers signed their TV deal, it completely shattered expectations. The deal was roughly $8 billion over 25 years, far more than MLB had projected. If MLB applied its typical formula, the Dodgers would have owed about $95.2 million a year into revenue sharing. But here's the twist. Because the Dodgers had just gone bankrupt, MLB agreed in federal court to lock in a fair market value for the rights of Dodgers baseball games on television. With the number the court decided, the Dodgers only had to pay $28.6 million per year, saving nearly $66.6 million every single season. It's like if the Dodgers built a mansion, but MLB kept taxing them as if they were living in a small house. And according to a leaked source, that exception doesn't expire until 2039. When the Dodgers TV deal expires. In other words, for nearly 3 decades, the Dodgers TV revenue is going to be taxed as if they were still a bankrupt franchise. That is completely unprecedented in American sports history, and it's one of the things the Dodgers have taken advantage of to make sure they can win as much as possible during this window.
Crazy.
Isn't that
absolutely
insane?
Crazy. Yeah,
I've never heard it laid out that way.
And I had heard kind of a little bit about the bankruptcy and that the Dodgers needed the bailout. We all have talked about the Frank McCourt years, but the outsized local media deal that they got. Baseball is already the sport with the biggest discrepancy between the haves and the have-nots, the Dodgers and the Yankees of the world. But the Dodgers have this extra carve-out that is saving them $66 million a year. That's $660 million every decade. Over the course of the TV deal, that's going to end up being close to like $3 billion in extra money that the Dodgers get to keep that no one else in baseball would have gotten to keep. It's inherently unfair. I mean, it is massively, and not just to the Padres, but certainly to the teams that are in the NL West. I don't think it's any coincidence that during the course of this carve-out, the Dodgers have been essentially unbeatable in their own division. They lost one time when the Giants had an historic 107-win season, and they lost that by one game. I mean, they've been unbeatable. The Major League Baseball has set up this system and agreed to it in federal court, so I don't think there's anything they can do to change it, that has essentially made the Dodgers impenetrable in the National League West. Now, the playoffs are the playoffs, and we've seen the Dodgers win. We've seen the Dodgers lose. On a short series, anything can happen. But over a long season, the Dodgers are virtually unbeatable. And part of it, a good chunk of it, is because of this massive advantage. It's like Shaq playing against 10-year-olds in basketball. They're not.
He's going to go. He's going to go for 60, 40, 0 assists every single night. He's going to go for 150 and 0 every night if he plays against Bo's team on Saturdays, right? And hey, man, like maybe you get a bucket off of him. You move the ball around. You get a bucket or two. He gets tired, but at the end of the day, it's like, whew, okay, yeah. Everybody else is playing for a wild card, and obviously, as our pal Satan's Blowfish said in the chat, everybody looks like a genius with, $70 million extra to spend, and that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Think about this. Let's say instead of the Dodgers keeping that every year, that it rotated among the other NL West teams. Do you think A.J. Preller could do something with an extra $66 million this year?
I would say so.
Could the Giants or the Diamondbacks put together a much more competitive roster against the Dodgers, given an extra $66 million to spend every year? That's insane.
So you just said earlier, like, this was done in federal court, nothing's probably going to change. So I understand that. But like, why now for like other owners to at least reportedly start to rally against that and be upset about this? Shouldn't all 29 owners, the whole 15 years now since the bailout, shouldn't everybody have been going, wait, why the hell is this happening? Why is this okay? Why? I don't understand.
The reason we're hearing more about it is
we just waited until they became the dynasty officially. Like
there's an ulterior motive. The owners want to foster fan anger at the Dodgers because fan anger at the Dodgers will help at the bargaining table next year when the CBA expires. The Dodgers are going to be everybody's boogeyman. The other owners and the fans are all going to blame the Dodgers for a broken system, which will then allow them to say, we need to come in and fix the system in a way that includes some sort of salary controls, AKA a salary cap, something that players are going to fight against. But it's going to be an uphill battle for the players because, well, everyone's kind of right. The system is broken. The Dodgers are a part of this broken system, and it does need to be fixed. Now, it doesn't have to happen with a salary cap, but I think we all kind of agree it does have to happen in some sort of way. And that is what the owners want right now. So you're going to see more and more of these stories going, Dodgers are breaking baseball. Baseball needs to be fixed. And I think they're winning that PR battle right now.
Well, they're not. But the national media is telling everybody how great it is, right? So you know what I'm saying? Like, they're telling everybody how great it is. The only people that are saying that the Dodgers are breaking baseball is 29 fan bases, right? But those are the people, not the national media. Those are the people that buy the tickets. They buy the jerseys. They go eat the hot dogs. They drink the beer. They pay for parking. They do all of that stuff. So those are you have to take care of your customers here. And if your customers are pissed, you need to try to placate them in some way. You can't go into a season, and I won't say 29, but you can't go into a season with 20 teams going, yeah, we have no shot. Why the F would I spend a nickel on this team right now when I've got it at payrolls at $100 million? I'm not going to take it to 130, to add one other piece to finish fourth. I'm just not doing it. It's not the smartest business in the world until this thing gets resolved. Now, the problem is everyone is saying, well, this will fix it. The salary cap and the salary floor. Again, I don't know that I believe in them. A salary floor would be great. Every team should have to spend X amount of money, right? the salary cap, nothing's going to change. These guys are going to be all grandfathered in. It's not going to change. They're still going to have more money than everybody. They'll probably have some sort of tax like they do now. They'll pay it gladly. So I just don't know how much it's going to change. I really don't.
We'll talk more about this with Joon Lee coming up at 6:30 or 7:35 this morning. And then Darren Smith is going to join us at 8:35 for his weekly conversation with SDFC getting set. They have their first exhibition game tomorrow. Closed door, but they're already taking the pitch for season number 2 of SDFC football. So Darren will join us at 8:35, plus our regular features like Don't Do This, Take on Woods at 8:20, our biggest fan at 9 o'clock, and our Reindl Report in our 9 o'clock hour as well. We did have a trade, though, in Major League Baseball yesterday involving another former Padre. Most trades do involve some sort of former Padre. We'll get to that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Okay, I don't want to jinx anything, but right now we are looking at Friday-like conditions. Just watch out for stalled big rig on the coastline, southbound 5, just past Tamarack. It's over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Joon Lee, Darren Smith, all our guests appear on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Yesterday, the Washington Nationals traded Mackenzie Gore, as had been rumored throughout the offseason, with 2 years of control to the Texas Rangers, which did come as a surprise to some baseball insiders. The Rangers putting together just a large prospect package, 5 of their minor leaguers with some promise, including Gavin Feen, who was their top pick from last year out of Temecula, an infielder, in order to acquire pitching depth and a guy who probably slides into the number 3 spot, maybe in their starting rotation or so in Texas for Skip Schumacher, who, of course, is familiar with Mackenzie Gore from his time in the Padres organization.
Yeah, I have gotten a comment from the Texas Rangers manager, and he is super stoked. He said 26 years old, put him around DeGrom and Evo. That's Nathan Eovaldi. And I think and hope we might have something here, and I think so too. He's been a good pitcher, beyond serviceable. Always gets off to kind of a hot start. They kind of need to figure out with Mackenzie Gore how he can go the distance in a season, because he's got really good stuff. We all knew that here. We all like Mackenzie Gore a lot. I think he's a great fit in Texas. And again, I saw both sides, right? I saw people going, man, like, you guys were, when you traded Juan Soto, this was supposed to build the core of this team for, a generation. And, now Gore is gone. James Wood, great season, great player. CJ Abrams is still, okay. Like, is he going to be their shortstop of the future? I just don't know. So now a piece leaves from that Juan Soto deal, but you get 5 prospects back in return. I saw people giving this, across the board, like, hey, B- for the Rangers, B+ for the Nationals. I didn't see anybody say, oh my God, overpay just because of the amount of prospects. There's some lottery tickets in there. There's some scratchers.
Yeah, I don't think Mackenzie Gore is like a bona fide superstar, perennial all-star pitcher, but he's a solid pickup for the Rangers. And yeah, Padres could use that same sort of depth. But I think my takeaway is, and even if this works out long-term for the Nationals, and you can argue that the Juan Soto trade worked out pretty well for the Nationals, and getting James Wood from the Padres, getting Abrams, Yarlin Susana remains one of the top prospects in baseball. But even that it worked out, they're still not competitive.
No,
I
not
mean,
at all.
This has got to be a fairly depressing day if you're a Nationals fan. Like, you went through this entire rebuilding Juan Soto phase just to get to here where, okay, it's time to win now. We got Wood, we've got Gore, we've got Abrams, and now you're going, no, it's not time to win yet. We're trading Gore now for more younger prospects who might be good in 3 or 4 years. They just keep kicking the can down the road. And if I'm a Nationals fan, I'm going, okay, well, here's another season where we're obviously have no chance competing against the Phillies, Mets, Braves, even the Marlins in the National League East.
Anybody that surprises you in the first half of the year, they're gone at the deadline.
Yeah, it's just raising the white flag. I'm sure CJ Abrams is on the block, or will be on the block if he has a decent season at the trade deadline. James Wood is the only one that they feel like they have to keep around as a potential core to build around, but will they ever have anything around him that makes him, valuable to win some games. It's kind of sad.
I think it's a good move. Good move for the Rangers. Excited for Skip to get another arm in his rotation.
All right, when we come back, hour number 2, including a big hire in the NFL yesterday and a big game for the Aztecs coming up tomorrow. All coming up next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Had a lot of people still talking to me yesterday about the end of the San Diego State Grand Canyon game on Wednesday night and the foul and the entire situation. But Brian Dutcher does not have that luxury of dwelling on the past because they get another big game tomorrow, Woods. Welcome back. Hour number 2. Ben and Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. In fact, tomorrow's game at UNLV is going to be on national CBS, like Channel 8 here in San Diego, the big show, as it were, in college basketball at 1 p.m. So an afternoon tip-off. It's a good chance because, a lot of people around the country don't watch a ton of San Diego State basketball when games start at midnight Eastern or 11 p.m. Eastern, but they can absolutely watch a 4 p.m. Eastern start on channel, CBS, that's going to be broadcast around the country tomorrow. So you'd like to think that would be a nice game to have a good performance for San Diego State and impress potential members of an at-large committee for the NCAA tournament in March.
Got to have it, man. Got to have a win. Got to get a dub tomorrow after a heartbreaking loss. Got to flush it. You got to move on. And, need a big dub tomorrow. What time's the game?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. All right.
I will. I think it'll be right around when the Randy Jones celebration of life is wrapping up.
Oh, yeah.
Planning to head down there tomorrow to Petco Park.
Are you going tomorrow?
I am going to go tomorrow. Pay my respects for Randy. I know a lot of San Diegans will be there. I know a lot of people can't on a Saturday as well. Don't feel bad. We'll carry the torch for you there. And Randy understands either way, I'm sure. But I am planning on heading down there for the, Jesse Agler's going to be the master of ceremonies. And I know there's going to be a lot of speakers, Randy's friends, and people from around the organization and family members. So definitely planning on going out there tomorrow. And anyone can go. Just remember, you need to claim a digital ticket online. It's free. Parking is free at all the Padres lots around Petco Park, but you do need to have a digital ticket just to make sure you get in, and they'll have the same, security procedures and stuff like a game, but it doesn't cost anything to go and pay your respects to Randy tomorrow.
Starts at 11?
11 a.m.
Yep.
Man, I've got
it's okay.
basketball in the morning, man. I missed Peters, but I loved Randy.
We know you. We know you loved Randy. You don't have to prove it.
We just loved him a little bit more than you, and that's okay.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, all right.
We know you loved him, though.
I did love him. Please don't guilt me into this because now it's like it works on me. Number one.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, and I really, I wanted to be at Peters too, and I you know how seriously I take my coaching over here, and I actually not coaching tomorrow. I'll just be watching both my kids play basketball, which I really love so much. And I think the way I make myself feel better is I say, well, Randy would want you with your children, right?
Of course.
Yes.
I agree, although that is the easy cop-out because when they're not here anymore, you can just say whatever they – oh, yeah.
Trust me, this is what Randy would have wanted.
Randy would want me to have that extra bowl of ice cream tonight after dinner.
Hang on, because I think you've hit on something here. Is that a massive cop-out when someone you love dies? This is what they would have wanted for me.
It is, but I totally get it, and I do it too. We all do it, don't we?
Right.
You can't. Well, you're going to miss things, and you can't go to everything in life. You're going to miss some things.
Remember, we flipped a coin, the Randy Jones coin at Fantasy Camp to tell us should we go to the Gentleman's Club or not. And Randy actually spoke to us.
True.
And
right.
steered us in the right
coin?
direction.
Flip it right now and see if he wants you to go coach tomorrow or watch or go to his celebration of life.
It's weird because with Randy, he could literally be like, F them kids. You need to be here. If you loved me, you'd be here, right? Like, you just never know.
Right.
You just really never, ever know with what Randy is going to say. And yeah, there's a void, man. There's certainly a void without Randy in the organization. And, at Fantasy Camp, it was definitely felt. But I do think, I'm going to be at my kids' basketball games. And also well, it's funny because I'm going to go sit in the gym with everybody. I'm not worried about getting them sick, but I am worried about getting everybody sick at Petco. So, that's just an excuse. No, I've got my kids' games, and I'm not going to miss those. But I do love RJ, and he knows that, allegedly. And it's easy, like you said, it's easy for me to say that he loves me and I love him. But yeah, it's a total cop out. I get it.
One day in the future, when we have the Stephen Woods celebration of life,
Please don't.
And I'm out on the back nine, I will think Woods really would want me to be golfing today.
And I would. That's the funny thing about it. You know what my wishes for you would be. And so you know exactly how I feel.
They'll probably ask me to speak or something, so I guess I'll have to show up.
Paulie will probably have to fix like the audio at my celebration of life. Like, the video will be jacked up or something, and but yeah, Paulie will not be able to just come and pay his respects.
No,
he's actually going to have to work.
Paulie, you just create my speech using my drops, like Ben's alphabet.
Yeah,
I can do that.
And yeah, it would be great. But
Joker, idiot, creep, dirtbag.
That's my
Stephen Woods was known for many things.
Joker, idiot, creep, dirtbag.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. We should do a Ben does a mock celebration of life for Woods.
Jerk.
Yeah, jerk. All right. It's great. Don't make me laugh, dude. Don't make me laugh. Oh my God. It's so good.
Randy would have enjoyed this segment.
Yeah, Randy would love this segment. Diesel said Ben is 100% convinced he's going to outlive Woods. He
is 100% convinced.
I mean, no, it's probably my lot in life to outlive everybody.
Aren't we all somewhat convinced we're going to outlive everybody else? Like,
yes,
I think that's kind of a natural feeling. I know that it's not, it's coin flip. Probably we're the same age, so
yeah. I mean,
you're making better choices in life than you used to.
I don't remember what we were talking about yesterday. My wife, we were talking about something. She had an idea. She's like, "Hey, you should do that for your 40th birthday in 5 years, and we can do a big thing." Blah blah blah. And I go, Ben and Woods will be 55 on my 40th birthday. They will be senior citizens on my 40th birthday. They're not doing anything, even if it's a 3 p.m. dinner. They're not going.
Michelle says, if you were still sick, would you go? You knew this date was coming up, so it's insincere, your explanation. I'm not going because I'm sick. I'm going to my kids' basketball games, Michelle. My role as a father and supporter of my children does mean more than my relationship with Randy Jones. I will put that on the record today, and I will stand by that 100%. And so, yeah, I love Randy. It doesn't take away my love for Randy. But, no, I'm going to be in the gym watching my kids dribble basketballs and travel and double dribble and up and down and everything else. But, yeah, I'll miss you guys and hope you have a good time at it. As good of a time as you can have at a memorial.
Right.
It is weird because I have had good times at some of those memorials.
Well,
it feels good to remember the good things, and there will be absolute laughter and I'm sure some incredible stories that are told about Randy tomorrow.
One of the richest lives you could live, certainly. I do want to go back to who's going to outlive whom on this show. I really do. I think that's a fascinating one. Now, how bummed would you be if you died before me, knowing how I lived the first 40 years of my life?
I mean, it would seem somewhat unfair, but I know that anything can happen. So
Ben dies, wakes up. Like, okay, I'm here. Wait, what? Wait, he's still. Woods made it longer than me.
Woods is still going.
Yeah,
come on. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
I think that would bother you tremendously. I really do. I think that would bother you. And I think for good reason. It should. It should. Yokel says, oh, yeah, for sure. Pee-wee basketball is way more important than the legend Randy Jones. Are you dense, Yokel? They're my children. I'm not going to ref a game. They're my kids. I'm going to watch them play. Like, I love Randy Jones, but nothing is going to pull me away from my kids' basketball games. If I'm in town, that's where I'm going to be. Is that a hot, controversial take?
I didn't think so.
Is he an actual yokel?
I mean,
is he like a hillbilly?
Will your
yokel?
kids have more games next Saturday that you could go to? I mean,
they will,
because there won't be another celebration for Randy next Saturday.
You know where I'll be? I'll be at. Oh my God, there'll be many more RJ celebrations of life to go to, but a kids basketball game is a one-time thing tomorrow. Are you guys kidding me? Like, what is happening right now? This is crazy. These are crazy reactions. I don't usually scream at the audience, but this is a crazy, crazy reaction. Crazy reaction.
I don't
know if they're trolling me or not,
everybody feels differently about remembering those that we've lost, and you all have to grieve in your own separate ways. And some people grieve at youth basketball games. That's just how it works.
Yeah. I mean, I did my grieving. I shed my tears for Randy Jones, and no, I'm going to be watching my kids play hoops. Sorry about that.
Wow. I'm surprised they took that turn.
They almost got taken to the woodshed. Holy cow. Megan said full screen Woods now. If you can see my ears right now, they're blood red. They are blood red. Anyway, I'm mad. Like I'm shaking a little bit. I'm so mad right now. Say if this is a bit, it's legendary. It's not. I don't know.
They're not wrong though.
What do you mean they're not wrong?
Like, Taylor's not going to remember that game.
Yes,
that game. No,
yes,
because you'll be at the next one and the one after that and the one after that. But like these are very few and far between.
Yes, he will remember his dad at his game. I missed his first game and I wanted to die. And so I don't want to miss any more games. This is crazy. I need a drink.
All right,
I need a cocktail.
Let's break this down completely. A celebration of life is for the people who are here. Randy's not going to be there. It's for the people who are there. If it gives you some peace and joy to go, you go. If you think that it's going to be important for the family members, like if Marie was
I don't know them.
If Marie was going to be devastated that you weren't there, then you should be there. But I promise you she's not. And she's not going to care.
She doesn't know who I am.
That you're there. But if it gives you some peace, and go. And if it gives you peace to be with your family and have your day, don't go. It's totally up to you. That the celebration is for the living.
I have a bottle of scotch that I keep in the side of my office right here. This bottle of Dewar's, and I'm literally thinking about pouring one just to calm down right now. Holy cow! No, I'm confident in my decision. I'm going to stay and watch the games.
I forget what this segment was about. Oh yes, the Baltimore Ravens have hired a new head coach.
Is what this
you can title that the segment.
They don't call Ben the Segway King for nothing.
Jesse Minter, the former now Chargers defensive coordinator, is hired as the new Baltimore Ravens head coach. And it's fine, whatever. It just feels like he's a former. Obviously, Jim Harbaugh assistant and John Harbaugh assistant. He used to be with the Ravens before he went to Michigan and then the Chargers. And if you're really trying to make a change and you're Baltimore, it feels like you're just going right to the same tree and just going to a different guy on the Harbaugh tree. Why did you get rid of John Harbaugh to begin with? Just going with kind of a younger, sexier John Harbaugh as your new head coach, but I mean, you didn't have a bad head coach, so maybe that's
if everything goes well, this guy could be the next John Harbaugh.
Right. We're going to go with John Schlarbaugh. Totally different. He's totally different. I will be honest with you. I wasn't super familiar with Jesse Minter.
The Chargers had a good season defensively, and I've heard good things in terms of his connection with players and leadership style. So he's getting an opportunity, one of the new young gun generation of head coaches now in the National Football League. So I think we filled about, half of the positions, a little bit more than half of the open positions. There's been so many of them, it's hard to keep track this offseason in the NFL. And, of course, we did our picks yesterday for the AFC and NFC championship games. Did we all pick Seattle?
Yeah.
We all picked Seattle. Yeah. We were a little more split on the AFC championship game. Woods and Paul went with the Patriots. I went with the Broncos at least to cover the 4.5 points on Sunday as we get to closer and closer to the Super Bowl up in Santa Clara in a couple of weeks.
Poncho says Don Coryell Memorial was a tearjerker. So wonderful. By the way, why does Woodsy hate Randy Jones? I'll tell you.
I mean, you hate it. You didn't. You already said you didn't go to Peter Seidler's. You didn't go to Rand. You're not going to go to Randy's. I mean,
right.
The evidence is right there.
You're both lucky if I come to yours. To be honest with you, how about this excuse?
You won't be around for mine. Don't worry.
How about this one? I don't do well at funerals.
There
guys.
you go.
I always love the people that say like, "Oh, I don't do well at hospitals or doctors' offices." Like, yeah, nobody does. Nobody likes to run into the doctor's office.
I don't really enjoy going to funerals. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm just really in my element at funerals. I kill them every single time. They're just my favorite thing in the world. So not going to miss a big one. This is the event, the place to be seen in San Diego tomorrow.
Ray said, I had money on Woods living longer, but this bit might kill him. You might. You might. Yeah. It might kill me. All right, let's go to break.
All right, we got Don't Do This is coming up next.
It's a visual one, but it's also audio, and it makes literally no sense. Paulie sent it over this morning.
It's theater of the absurd in the NBA coming up on Don't Do This after a check of traffic with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3. The Fan. Speaking of the Pro Football Championship games, Prize Picks has a great opportunity to set a lineup this Sunday and win big. Take Sam Darnold, more than 1/2 passing yard. That square is now live at the Prize Picks app. You're putting together lineups with 2 to 6 players and winning real money with daily fantasy up to 2,000 times your money. Then after that, the big game right around the corner. There's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than Prize Picks, where it always feels good to be right. And, of course, it's your last chance to get in on football action until next season. You miss your fantasy team. This is like fantasy football, except it's just one-day leagues. It's kind of genius, actually. Close out your season right with Prize Picks. And when you download the Prize Picks app, make sure you use the code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code KWFN to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. Go with the power plays where you get them all right, 5 or 6 of them. You can win huge, or go with a flex play where you don't need to get everyone right. Get 4 out of 5, 5 out of 6. You still win money that goes right back into your account. Easy to withdraw with Apple Pay, Venmo, MasterCard, and more. Check it out today. It's Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Okay, player. This is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't Do This, brought to you by Dixieline Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and enjoy it. And don't go anywhere. We got Joon Lee coming up momentarily, so we'll keep this fast. For Do This, we're just going to give away a prize, James Taylor tickets, momentarily. So stay tuned for that. But Woods, I will let you get us started on DDT today.
You were going to get us started on DDT.
I am going to get us started on DDT today. All right.
You want me to do this one that Paulie sent over?
Yeah, you've got the video, so Paulie can play it online for everybody.
Paulie sent this over this morning, and it was the Clippers announcers last night. And you hear them.
It was a
now,
few nights ago. So if you're listening to it, you don't really understand. Whoa, they're obviously laughing about something. So let's play it, and then I'll tell you what happened. 1 second.
Wants to get right on the inside, and then there we go. That's a oh man.
First you got the devil tears, now we've got geese.
No,
so they were just talking about, a play that had just happened, and they, obviously called for the replay, and they were going to talk about it. But all of a sudden, in the middle of the thing, maybe 2-3 seconds in, on their screen pops up a picture of two geese just hanging out like by a stream or something.
Sticking their head into the water.
Yeah. Sticking their head into the water. Probably play it again, and you can hear when they see it, they're like, "What? Why did somebody put a picture of geese in there?"
1 second, I'm pulling it back up here. They were showing like a slow motion replay.
Yeah, they went to the replay machine.
The broadcast, you can kind of see it, like it gets a little fuzzy or whatever. It pauses, and then it just completely freezes, and then all of a sudden you see a picture of the geese, and so the broadcasters are like thinking they don't say anything, but you hear the pause, and they go, "You're like, what the hell was that?"
Wants to get right in on the inside,
right?
Geese,
and then
just 2 geese.
There we go.
How does that?
So I don't.
How does that get slipped in there?
I've been in those trucks. I mean, you've probably seen it before if you haven't been there in person on television. But they have, the director who sits there, and then they have the monitor, like the program, like what's on live, and then they have their preview, what's about to take live next. So you'll have like the replay will be in your preview, and it'll go, all right, roll camera 4, roll tape 4, and it goes to the replay, and then. I don't know how geese end up like, all right, get to the, pull up the shot of the geese. Oh, wait, don't put it on the air. Like, why on earth would you ever
Why was it even in there?
A shot of geese ready to go in the middle of a basketball game? It doesn't make any sense at all, which is what made it so funny. It was just so dang bizarre.
The guy's like nervous laugh at the beginning kills me.
And there we go.
That's amazing.
Everyone was like, wait, what happened here? How?
What was that? Could have been a lot worse. It could have been, the nude picture or something. But
I mean, it could have been anything. If it could be geese, it could be anything.
Could be anything.
Because they're certainly not standing by with a picture of geese during an NBA game. This is a kind of interesting story. The Indianapolis Colts yesterday acknowledged the existence of an FBI investigation now into the death of former owner Jim Irsay and the potential involvement of a California doctor who reportedly prescribed him pain pills and ketamine. Irsay died from what was called cardiac arrest last year, back in May, and obviously kind of lived a bit of a wild life, but was also a fairly well-loved owner of the Indianapolis Colts at the same time. And seems like this investigation has been going on for a long time. Irsay apparently spent long stretches in California, died at the Beverly Hills Hotel, and this doctor, Dr. Hartunian, is an addiction specialist, but you remember what happened with Matthew Perry and that story with ketamine as well, that this is something that occurs in Hollywood, and the FBI apparently is investigating potential some sort of foul play in his death, not necessarily maybe like murder, but more like, is there a doctor overprescribing drugs or something like that, into an investigation that the FBI has gotten involved in.
It's not uncommon at all, man. This is Prince. This is Michael Jackson. I mean, this is so many people out there. Tom Petty, all of these people. Of course, you're the guy that has access to stuff, and Prince asks you for, more fentanyl or something. You're like, I want to make Prince happy. It's just the saddest thing. And, you hate that it's been so long since he passed away. And, but again, if this guy was doing something untoward, he should be brought to justice, my friend.
And finally, do this.
DD mega do-do.
Let's send someone to James Taylor. That'll be a do this concert at the Rady Shell coming up in April 28th to be specific. If you'd like to win a pair of tickets, be our fifth caller right now at 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Get a pair of tickets to James Taylor, Rady Shell, April 28th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, so you can get your own beautiful venue, beautiful voice. James Taylor still in concert now at age 77. All right, let's that is, oh, by the way, that is Don't Do This for a Friday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, we talked about it in our first hour, but Joon Lee has kind of exposed, not that it was a secret necessarily, but explained why the Dodgers have this massive local TV advantage beyond just the fact that they play in Los Angeles over every other team. And is there anything Major League Baseball can do about it? We'll talk with Joon Lee about that story coming up next year with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, gang, before we get to Joon Lee, wanted to talk about some of our morning rituals around here. And it's not just me. Top nutrition experts agree. One of the best things you can do for your body the moment you wake up Indulge in a tall, chilled glass of liquid clarity. Of course, I'm talking about Eco Water. Think of it as a deep soak for your system. It's the first thing I do when I get up, too. Before I stretch, I pound water right when I wake up. And, of course, I pound Eco Water. It sharpens your focus, makes sure everything runs really smooth. Those plastic bottles that you may be using, break that habit today. Our bodies are already hosting a lot of microplastics, things like that. We're constantly taking in more through single-use plastic. You deserve better. Your family deserves better. EcoWater SoCal brings the soft life right to your kitchen sink with mineral-rich alkaline water. Balances your pH. It fuels your body with filtered luxury. No plastic, no poison. Just absolute perfect water every single time. You know, I think and talk about my family a lot. This is for their future as well as mine. Call 760-754-1960. 760-754-1960 or go to ecowatersocal.com. Please let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925. He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Humul Casino Resort, now open.
Bill House Studios. We know how from our YouTube chat. Yokel says, woo, I won the James Taylor tickets, guys. No BS.
Oh, my God.
He did. Congratulations, Yokel. Enjoy James Taylor. We're about to be joined by Joon Lee, who has discovered, I don't want to call it a secret, but something that we've come to learn over the past few years, that complaining about the Dodgers can be a rewarding enterprise if you do it correctly.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you can handle the Dodger fans in your mentions.
Exactly right. Some good stuff. We talked about it last hour about this interesting carve-out TV deal exception that they have. And Joon Lee, sports journalist, going to join us right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Covered California. Just a couple of problems here, guys. One of them is a collision on the Dairy Mart Road on-ramp to northbound 5. It's over the right shoulder. And getting reports of a possible brush or encampment fire near the Market Street on-ramp, northbound 805. Some smoke visible in the area. We also have reports of a solo vehicle accident, Otay Lakes Road at 94, but does not appear to be blocking lanes. Open enrollment is here. Covered California can help you make sense of benefits, deductibles, networks, and the general confusion of it all. Enroll by January 31st. Covered California, for the love of Californians. Visit coveredca.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline, a nationally recognized sports writer. We had him on previously when he worked for ESPN. He has also recently been named a YouTube creator on the rise. Joon Lee is joining us here with Ben & Woods on 97.3 The Fan. Joon, thanks for your time this morning.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
I always enjoy talking to you guys. Yeah, go ahead, Woods. Sorry.
Have you gone into witness protection yet? Because one thing I've learned, and I've had hate mail sent to my home, if you talk about the Dodgers and are mean about them, they get very upset. So I'm sure RIP to your mentions from yesterday.
I'm actually doing fine because I think a lot of your Dodgers fans, I think, didn't assume the worst and watched the whole video. Yeah. And I think the overall video is relatively praising of how much the Dodgers have been ahead of the game in terms of just building their team and stacking up every single advantage that they have. And so unless, on Twitter, people take things out of context or whatever. So I try to tend to ignore those types of things. But the people who actually watched the whole thing, I think, thought it was a fair video.
Joon, for those who weren't with us, we played a short clip in our last hour, but kind of explain this advantage that the Dodgers were given coming out of their Frank McCourt bankruptcy with their local TV deal that really no other team enjoys.
Yeah, so when the Dodgers went bankrupt with Frank McCourt, this was back in 2011, they went to bankruptcy court, and the Dodgers are one of the marquee franchises in all of baseball, and I think part of the motivation is the league wants to have its franchises healthy, especially the ones in the big markets. And the Dodgers are a legendary franchise as well. And so they were trying to figure out a way to helped stabilize the Dodgers' financial situation coming out of that bankruptcy. And so they went to the courts and asked them to basically give a ruling.
And he's gone. Well,
Oh no,
that
we
was
lost him.
just
He just dropped off
right in the middle of
I
a sentence.
thought that was me. I just panicked.
No, that was just kind of random. Is he calling back? Yeah, Paulie's going to get him back on the line. All right, June, I think we got you back on. We lost you for No, we lost him again. He was right. He was on a roll,
MLB
too.
trying to silence him.
Wow.
Now this is getting interesting.
Interesting.
They got to him. Wow.
I mean, none of this is a giant secret. It obviously was all in court documents when it played out. As June was saying, this was from 2011, the bankruptcy with Frank McCourt before the current Guggenheim ownership with their deep pockets and the massive financial resources that they had. But no one, I think, at Major League Baseball expected, back then, TV contracts were important, but they weren't as lucrative as the one the Dodgers signed. They landed at just the right moment to get their $8 billion local TV deal. If that happened now, it probably wouldn't be as big or as long-term.
No.
And if it had happened before, it wouldn't have been as massive. But they just landed at just the right spot, and it coincided with this carve-out from, Major League Baseball and the federal courts, and it's given the Dodgers this extra edge, in addition to the other advantages they have. They sell tons of tickets, just like the Padres do with their big stadium every single year. They now have cornered the market almost, entirely in Japan with Shohei Ohtani, which is another massive revenue stream that other teams don't enjoy. And they're just piling advantage on top of advantage on top of advantage. And that to me is where Major League Baseball now all of a sudden has this problem, Woods. And unfortunately, I don't know, technically we're having trouble with Joon Lee. I mean,
I'm going to get him up on Zoom here in just a minute.
All right, or that'll be fine.
We'll finish the conversation.
We can get to that. We still have some time this segment as well, but it would be fine. If the Dodgers just had one or two of the normal big market advantages, we see that doesn't guarantee anything for the Mets or even the Yankees in recent years. Sure. Yeah, they can put together competitive teams with big payrolls every year, but the Dodgers, by stacking these advantages one after another, have put together teams that are almost bulletproof in the regular season, that they don't even have to operate under the same rules as other teams. They can rest pitchers, as we've seen. They have the depth in order to operate in a way that makes them much more likely to make the postseason, and then much more likely to be in good shape once that postseason arrives. And they've really perfected it these last couple of years in winning the World Series title.
Yeah, it's just the ability to make countless mistakes. And again, if the mistakes get washed over, they get money washed, basically, right? You can afford, I mean, honestly, you think about some of the contracts that would have crippled some of the other teams in baseball that didn't work out for the Dodgers. They don't hit on everything. I mean, you got to remember, they don't hit on every single player that they get, and they've had to pay guys to go away, just like every other team does. But because of the massive TV deal advantages, those mistakes they're just drops in the bucket where it could, again, cripple a franchise like, ours or the Milwaukee Brewers or anything like that. And hey, you know what? Again, we've lost sight of the fact that a couple of different things can be true. Owners need to spend more money, no question about it. But also they need to get more money from teams like the Dodgers to spend. Once they get it, they do need to spend it. Credit to them for at least getting all of this money and saying, yeah, we're going to put this back in the team. And nobody's saying that they're not smart. Right, nobody has ever said that.
Let's go out on Zoom and see if we can try it this way, where we're joined again by Joon Lee here on, 97.3 The Fan. June, you were sounding perfect and all of a sudden gone, and we couldn't get you back. So appreciate trying a different method here.
Yeah, my cell phone dropped the call like 3 times. I don't know what was going on.
Sound good now. Yeah, sound good now. So you were talking about the bankruptcy.
We know exactly what was going on, June.
You were explaining the bankruptcy in 2011 and the carve out that the federal court helped create for the Dodgers to get them back on their feet, which, fine. I understand why Major League Baseball had an interest in getting the Dodgers back on their feet. What I don't understand is why that carve out would now last all the way through 2039 in the hands of the deepest pocketed owners, the Guggenheim group and how it even makes any sense at all for Major League Baseball to have the Dodgers get this advantage now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the federal courts and I think the perception of the market value of the team drastically underestimated how much the Dodgers were worth and what was possible for the Dodgers to actually get on the open market for their TV deal. So when they launched Sportsnet Los Angeles with Time Warner Cable, that deal was heavily front-loaded and gave the Dodgers a lot of cash up front in a way that was unusual and also, I think, dramatically exceeded the expectations of Major League Baseball when they put this deal in place. And so when the Dodgers signed this TV deal that was supposed to last through 2039, it was nearly a 30-year TV deal. I think that there wasn't necessarily the expectation that this sort of exemption could be used as another benefit for the building of a super team 10 years, 15 years down the line.
You know, it's funny too with the TV deal. I see and hear from Dodger fans all the time. Very few of them actually get to watch the games in LA on television. So it's seems like money well spent. I wanted to ask you about the percentage that you had in your video about what the Dodgers are being what you're forced to share, revenue sharing with your TV money. What was the percentage that you had? Because I saw one that said it was actually, I saw one in the Joe Sheehan newsletter, and then I had another source, I believe it was on Fangraphs. It said in MLB, teams put 48% of local revenue net of stadium expenses into a pool, then distributes that pool back to teams equally. What are the Dodgers sharing right now?
So for television revenue, that is about 33% across all teams. And so a lot of the big market teams are subsidizing the smaller market teams. Now with the Dodgers, they're paying $250 million, or they get $250 a year from the TV deals, and they're supposed to pay back about 33%. I believe that total is about $90-something million. But because the Dodgers are taxed on the market value that the court set, that value is actually $85 million. And so they're getting taxed 33% of $85 million. And so when they're making $250 million, they're getting taxed like they're making a lot less money. You know, it's like if you were living in an enormous house, but you were paying the property taxes of a much, much, much smaller house. And so they're making about an extra $66 million. This is basically at the start of the deal, and it rises about 4% every single year. But it's a significant chunk of money that they're saving on a year-to-year basis. Now, is that enough to pay off all the luxury taxes? No, but it's also just one of those benefits that the Dodgers have learned to kind of stack up on the many advantages that they've grown to have over the last few years.
And I think you and Woods both kind of hit on an interesting point. We're talking to Joon Lee, a sports journalist, about his piece on the Dodgers and their TV deal. That local revenue, that 8% or whatever it is, the Padres pay into revenue sharing because they make a ton in their local stadium revenue. Petco Park is full, concessions are brisk at Petco Park, so they pay a ton. Whereas the TV deal, the Padres have none. They work with Major League Baseball now. That's where you could start evening out. But the Dodgers don't have to pay that money that they, that other teams would have to pay into the TV deal, much, much less, which makes I would say the advantage of the Dodgers over the Padres, division rivals, two of the biggest, closest rivals in baseball, June. That is maybe one of the most giant built-in advantages one team can have over another, and it's the Dodgers who have it over the Padres.
Yeah, and I think part of this is just the nature of baseball and sports, where Los Angeles is just a significantly bigger market franchise. Now, that advantage is definitely exacerbated because of the TV deal and the way that the money has been spent by the Dodgers. But it is an enormous advantage. And I think it's really interesting, I think, to look at the situation because even though the Padres have spent a lot of money, I think the way that money has been spent has been different because, the Padres obviously had Juan Soto and Fernando Tatis and signed Xander Bogaerts and all this other stuff. But they aren't necessarily getting that money back in the same way that the Dodgers are, because the Dodgers have Shohei Ohtani, who is this once-in-a-generation, not just baseball player, but marketing figure for the entire sport. And as I've reported in the past, the Dodgers made back all of the money on Shohei Ohtani's contract. It was committed to them within one season of that deal coming through. And so they are making a profit on Ohtani's contract within one season, and there's, I believe, 8 years left on that deal. And I remember when that Ohtani contract was signed, that people were saying that it was ludicrous that one player was getting, paid $700 million. I think it didn't account for, 80 to 90% of people who come to Los Angeles from Japan making a trip to Dodger Stadium. And if you go to Dodger Stadium these days, it's quite remarkable to see how much of the stadium experience is catered around Japanese tour groups, Japanese fans, Ohtani fans. It's a really unique experience, I think, in sports.
Well, I've seen the pictures, June, of the Shohei Ohtani bobblehead day, and it looks like Woodstock, people waiting outside at 6 a.m. to get this thing. So, I mean, again, credit to them for taking advantage and marketing, the biggest star the game has ever seen, marketing him correctly. Quick last question from me. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the way that people talk about a salary cap, I think almost oversimplifies the situation, because the Los Angeles Angels had the potential to take advantage of Ohtani, not even on a $700 million contract, on a rookie contract, and they didn't do it. Like, the Dodgers obviously signed Ohtani and they have this incredible player, but just because you have a great player doesn't mean you actually take advantage of the advantages that player gives you. And so I think you have to give credit to the fact that this front office has outmaneuvered a lot of baseball over the course of the last few years. Of course, they're spending a ton of money, but at the same time, like, I talked to Zach Scott, he's the former GM of the Mets and was very high up with the Red Sox for many years. Just because a salary cap and a salary floor is put in, it doesn't mean that your team is going to be forced to spend money. And I think we're living in a day and age where it's becoming harder and harder for individual families to own sports teams, let alone baseball teams. There's the reason why private equity firms are coming into baseball to supply a lot more cash, because it's just a lot more expensive to run a sports team these days. And all these franchises, in order to justify how valuable they're becoming in the eyes of Forbes, they're trying to go global. They're trying to reach new fan bases around the world, and all of that takes a lot of money. And so the Dodgers, I think, because Mark Walter is a private equity guy, and he saw this coming before, I think, not just the rest of baseball, but the rest of sports. They've been 2-3 steps ahead of everyone else, and everyone is kind of reacting to the way that they're building their franchise. Like, the reason why the Lakers are going to start being run differently is because Mark Walter is taking over that team, and Andrew Freeman and Farhan Zaidi are consulting for the Lakers now. Like, this is not just a baseball story anymore. The Dodgers are setting an example for how sports franchises are going to be run in the future across all of sports.
June, let me wrap up by letting you have your say on what is inherently a personal opinion, but one we spend a lot of time talking about on this show, especially with our Padres fans, and that is Dodgers dominance good or bad for the sport of baseball?
I think that this is such a fascinating question, because last year's World Series was the most watched baseball game. I believe Game 7 was the most watched baseball game in 34 years. Like, that is inherently good for the sport. And I think two things can be true. I think that more casual baseball fans are interested in baseball. Casual sports fans are interested in baseball because the Dodgers are this dominant. It's an easy storyline to follow. It doesn't take a lot of explanation, and people know who Shohei Ohtani is at this point. At the same time, I think that the harder core baseball fan, the people who are watching games on a week-to-week basis, people who are more like us in terms of how they consume sports, are very discouraged in a way that they haven't been in a long time, because the Dodgers have all of these financial advantages. And so I think that it isn't an and or situation. I think that it's one of those things where two things are true at the same time, where baseball is both reaching more audiences than it ever has before. At the same time, I think local fans who are watching more day to day think it's harder and harder to keep up. And I think it's very much reflective of just how people feel across America, let alone about sports, but just the state of the country as well.
Great insight, Joon Lee. Appreciate you pivoting there in the middle of the interview as well. Glad we were able to get that done, though. And thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me on.
That's sports journalist Joon Lee on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Woods will come back, reset the show at the top of the 8 o'clock hour, and then get ready to play a little Take on Woods and talk to our friend Darren Smith in hour number 3 of the program.
Can't wait.
Oh, I knew you couldn't. Stick around. More Bennett Woods on the way on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, my friends, we are halfway home on a Friday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Love to be back here. I miss the studio, certainly. It's nice to be working from my house. Thanks to the company for letting me do that so as not to infect you guys. Benny, how are you feeling, by the way? You back 100%, would you say?
Yeah, I would say I am back to 100% as if I was never even sick in the first place.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Usually most of my illnesses will kind of linger for like 2 weeks, but this one just gone.
This really was just like a stomach thing, huh?
So bad, and then now just gone. So I'm glad. How are you feeling? I mean,
I'm at, I'm about 75%. It's like my brain isn't working as fast as my mouth is right now. And I'm still coughing a lot. I still get those kind of waves of really tired, weak. That just could be me being tired and weak. But I'm 75%, but there was no way I was going to sit on my ass the last 2 days if I had the ability to jump on from home. And there's things going on. Life goes on. I'm not able to just lay in bed for a whole week to recover. I feel like it's going to be one of those coughs that stays with me for a while. I can remember, I think it was the early part of last year or the year before. I mean, I had this cough. I felt fantastic, went about my daily life. But I had this cough for like 6 weeks, it felt like. So I feel like it's going to be here a minute.
Hopefully you're good by the time we go out to spring training and share a house again.
Yeah, well, I can pick up some more Arizona black lung.
Just in time to get sick again.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's different, different trip. Spring training.
A month from today, February 23rd, I believe, will be our first broadcast live from spring training. So
holy
now
cow,
less than a month away from broadcasting live. Obviously, the games will already be underway at that point. First spring training game against the Mariners is February 20th. Pitchers and catchers report, what is it, the 7th or something? It's not far away. Just a couple of weeks from now, you'll have the start of baseball, daily baseball talk out of Peoria, Arizona.
If you missed the open this morning, I did talk. Had a couple people ask me, hey, did you go over the draft yet? We had our minor B draft last night, my first one ever. It was great. Had such a phenomenal time. Again, all the coaches, the dads in there were incredible. We really laughed our ass off. We had a really good time. And they said, if you didn't talk about it yet, I need to hear the names. Because, names now are different. Names now are different than when we were all kids. And I think even Paulie, too, being a youngster. I mean, my little league team was like Scott, Mike, Steve, Ted. You know what I'm saying? Like those were the names back in the day.
All my friends are Justin, Kyle.
Yeah.
I knew a ton of Kyles, a lot of Ryans.
I felt we had Brian and Ryan and Brian and Ryan.
I actually grew up with three separate brothers. All sets were Kyle and Ryan. I knew a Kyle and Ryan, another Kyle and Ryan, and a third Kyle and Ryan.
A lot of Kyles too. Yep.
Yeah, we had Matts. Matts were big. But we had Scott, Steve, Mark, Sean was like an outlier back then. Anthony, like these just kind of regular ass names. Now I can read you guys my roster right now. I've got
I need this.
I've got 2 Jacksons. I've got 2 Lucas. I've got an Everett. I've got a Bennett. I've got a Brooks. I've got a Dylan. I've got a Tristan. I've got a Mason. I've got a Bo. And 1 John.
John with a Z.
No, it's John. No, it's actually, there's no vowel. Paulie, there's no vowel. It's just JHN. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's John. But again, 2 Jacksons, 2 Lucas, an Everett, a Bennett, a Brooks, a Luca, a Dylan, a Tristan, a Mason, and a Bo. And actually, my son's real name is Lauren. So it's going to be interesting. But yeah, they were reading some of the names last night. I'm like, holy cow. How's Jackson spelled? I've got a regular Jackson and I got a Jaxon. And I got a Luca that's a Luca and a Luka. So yeah, it is. It's going to be it's going to be a challenge. It's already a challenge, but then trying to manage these names too is going to be great.
No, you said, there's that you used to have normal names, but when these kids are our age, they'll think that, Jackson and Rylan
those are normal names to them.
are all the normal names, and they'll think that Steve and Paul and Ben are such weird, old-fashioned sounding names. Like all the senior citizens around that are named Steve.
All the old retired porn stars named Steve. So we'll, every one of my kids. Somebody said, "Are you a nicknames coach?" Yes, 100%. I'm a nicknames coach. So I do the thing, but it's hard with these names. You can't really how they put E, Woodsy, Paulie, Benny. I can't.
Too many syllables ruins that. Like Jackson-y and
Jackson-y, Johnny. I can do
Luca E. Yeah,
Everett E, Bennett E, Brooksy. That's an easy one.
That's an easy one. Yeah.
Dylan E. No. Tristan E. No. Mason E. No. Bo E. No.
Bowie?
No. So I just call him. He's Bobo. He's always been Bobo. So that's what he'll be.
You might find a Tristan-y on a female team at somewhere. Tristan-y sounds like it could be a girl's name, but
I can get
no. Tristan-y, no. Like Tiffany or Tristan-y or. I wasn't trying to be funny. I thought that was an observation. No, I was not trying to be funny. It just sounded like, do girls' names, are they, these are all boys' names. I'm just wondering what the girls' names nowadays sound like as well. What are they going as uniquely different as the boys' names?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the girls' names, aren't they like Bailey, Kaylee, like a lot of the like Leighs?
Yes. Ashley, Ashlyn. Trust me, as my wife and I are, again, in this the infancy of the thought of having a third child, a girl, it's been the most hotly contested conversation in our home.
Ooh.
And everyone she throws out, I don't like, and everyone I throw out, she doesn't like. So this could be an instance, and this has happened before, where people have kids and they're like, we need to see it before we name it, right? We need to see the child before we name the child. I'm not going to be able to do that. And I don't think Hannah will be able to either. We are planners. She really loves logoed things. So I'm like, that's not going to work. She needs logoed clothing when she gets home from the hospital. So we are having a really, really tough time with it in our home right now. And kids are throwing out ideas. Hannah really is the filter. We give her ideas. She shoots them down. There's not going to be, it's not much democracy here. She's more of a dictator as it pertains to names.
But
Chairman,
you have at least some sort of veto, like,
I don't know.
Or could you be overridden? Could you be completely overridden?
She wanted to name Bo after her father, Lauren, which I was absolutely in favor of. But my suggestion was, let's call him Bo Lauren Woods, since he's going to go by Bo. She said, no, it's got to be Lauren first. So everywhere he goes now, he's got long blonde hair. It's, hello, sweet little angel, little sweet girl. And I said we could have alleviated all of that with just calling him Bo Lauren. But she vetoed me on that. Taylor, I don't know where we got it. I think that was more my idea. And she kind of acquiesced. She really wanted to name him Ace, which I didn't really love. And so I don't know. We're having a hard time with the name. Every time I bring up a name, I'll say a name, and she's like, "Oh no, that girl was mean to me in middle school," or "Oh no, that's the name of a girl that would do something like that." And it all kind of makes sense to me when she says it, but I don't know. I haven't. It's probably going to be.
Would you like the list of the top baby names from last year for girls?
Yeah.
All right. We have number 1, Olivia. Amelia.
I like it.
Olivia?
I like it. Yeah.
Amelia. Sophia. Emma.
Love it.
Isabella.
Love it.
Charlotte.
Love it.
Alana.
Love it.
Ellie. Aurora. And Mia. Those are your top 10.
I mean, I really like all of those, to be honest with you.
Ava, Lily, Luna, Evelyn, Violet, Hazel, Harper, Layla.
And Unsaturated Fat says picking names now is kind of putting the cart in front of the horse. Like, I didn't go out and open a bank account in her name yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are just the conversations that you have. We haven't bought any clothing. We haven't remodeled one of the boys' rooms. Like, it's just, these are the conversations that you have. It's called acting as if, right?
I guess I just worry that if Hannah picks a name and ultimately she's just so committed, but you don't like it, you're not the kind of person who's going to be able to hide that. And I worry you're going to have a conversation with your 12-year-old daughter in 2038 where you're just going, I never really liked your name at all.
No, because I won't. I feel like if she's dead set on it, I'll probably just acquiesce because, well, I'm old and she's much hotter than me. So she's going to get to probably have the ultimate say.
Maybe we should get to a place as a society where, like, when you're born, your name is just like your last name. And then when you turn 18, you pick your name. What do you want to be called?
Yeah, what do you want to go by? There will be a time that at some point where Bo decides to go by Lauren. I promise you, because he will absolutely want to go by Lauren. And that's just what happens.
I know more men named Lauren, I think, than women.
And do you? Yeah, spelled the way that he does.
Loren versus like Lauren.
I played golf when we were in Arizona. Guy just was playing with us as a single, and he didn't like his name when he was a kid. And I'm trying to remember, it was a fairly normal name, but he did not like it. And when he was 12, his parents let him legally change his name, and he has continued to go by that name for the rest of his life.
When he was 12?
12. He legally changed his name.
What were they?
So I'm trying to I can't really remember his old name because it was just a normal name. It was like Joseph or something.
Okay.
It was a normal name, but he didn't like his name, and he legally changed his name. He was an older guy. He was probably in his 60s. He was a fan of the Andy Griffith Show, so he legally changed his name to Opie.
Oh.
And he has been Opie ever since, legally.
I feel like Opie is a name. You could be like, hey, my name's Fred, but I go by Opie.
That's what I said.
A nickname.
Because that's how I, like, probably on the fifth hole, because he had introduced himself as Opie, and I just kind of got curious. And I go, so is that a nickname? And he goes, no, it's my legal name, but it wasn't when I was born. I was Joseph, but when I was 12, I didn't like my name, and my parents let me legally change it to Opie.
That is, kudos to his parents for being like, you know what, pal, it's your life. If you want to go by Opie, have a ball. I will say this. Somebody said in the chat, I like girls with boy names. I do too. I have always had bad experiences with men with girl names. I knew a Courtney that was a total clown.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
A Stacy, Stacey, not great. My son's name is Lauren, but he goes by Bo. But the girls with boys' names I've always thought were really cool. There was a supermodel named James King who was just beautiful, and her name was James. There's a couple of boys' names I like if we do have a girl. So it's just
there's certain boy names that would kind of work for women. Like
the one I like is
Cliff. I just don't think
Cliff would be tough. Would be tough. The one I like is Carter, and Hannah hates it. Carter Woods, I think, sounds great. Ashley as a guy.
I just Googled boy names for girls. There's Dylan, Bailey, Ashley, Frankie, Charlie.
I like Charlie is great.
Cameron.
August is great. Yeah, Cameron Diaz.
Billy.
Abella. What do you think about that name, Ben?
Bella?
Abella Danger Woods.
Abella Danger Woods. It's like my biggest nightmare. Paulie said he brought up Abella Danger because they panned to her in the national.
Ben brought
it up. I made it a don't do this. I couldn't understand why she was so incredibly offended by being put on camera by ESPN.
He pulled the old.
Why was she
offended? They showed a student, and I guess a lot of people recognized her, but I had never seen her before. And I go, really, Ben?
I didn't recognize her, so I'm honest about that. I did not recognize her. I just didn't understand what she said. I would have given anything for ESPN not to put me on the broadcast. Why? Who cares? You're at a game. You're a legitimate fan. They put you on the broadcast.
She's a student there.
They didn't caption her or,
a Bella Danger
adult film star. That would have been inappropriate, but just showing a normal fan, at the game is not anything that you should be like embarrassed by or certainly like feel regret about or remorse for.
Yeah, they didn't put her up as star of the gang's all here. You know what I mean? Like it was just a student. Now, when she flashed on the screen, I did a jump scare. I was like, oh my God, they did it. They actually
it's become a bit of a phenomenon now. Like she'll go to like a random, a Thursday night Miami Heat game, and she'll be sitting near the court or on the court, and they'll show her in the background or even on screen or whatever. And then it becomes a thing. And then, huge Miami Hurricanes fan. So of course the game's in Miami. Like it was no surprise that she was there.
Bro, let me tell you the cameraman spent 30 minutes going, where, got it. All right. I'm ready when you guys are. I mean, there is no question. Now, did you do your research after you found out, who it was and everything?
I'm saving that for a special occasion.
Oh my God! All right, I don't know how much
cool
more special. Paulie.
Speaking of, that was a Take on Woods answer, which leads us to our next segment. We need a contestant for Take on Woods. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Chance to qualify for the trip to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar, music, TV, or movies. Coming up next. With
what kind of special occasion, by the way? What are we talking about here? I need to know.
Oh, my God.
I am literally hacking up pieces of lung right now. Oh, I'm saving it for a special occasion.
Wow.
Not at work, I think, is what the answer to that
not at
is.
Work.
A special occasion.
Right. Just said that.
Not at work. We'll play
you were laid up in bed for quite a while.
Yes.
Did you catch one while you were laid up?
Have not been feeling great, Woods, as you can. They're not really conducive to going together.
That's weird because I was fine in that department, but it really never fades, to be honest. But well, good for you. Good for you. I look forward to hearing about when that special occasion is.
All right, we'll come back, Take on Woods, and then Darren Smith going to join us. All coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, let me tell you about SDFatLoss.com. Still January, still time to make good on your New Year's resolutions in a fast, sustainable way to lose weight up to 10%, 20% even of your body weight in 60 days. That's a pound of fat per day with SDFatLoss.com. And right now they're extending their New Year's sale. They want you to make 2026 the year of you, a healthy year, a better year for you. By signing up online and getting 20% off the program at SDFatLoss.com. When you get your free consultation online, your counselor is going to explain how it works, how it's based on real foods, stuff you're normally eating from the grocery store, chicken, steak, vegetables, no prepackaged meals, no mixes, no bars, no shakes. You're simply eating real food and losing weight quickly, which makes it sustainable. Same thing, no injections, no side effects to worry about. You don't have to be committed to a lifetime of weekly injections with SDFatLoss.com, and you don't even need to exercise to lose the weight. You can certainly start after the program is done. I did, and I feel like a new person. I've kept my weight off 40 pounds for nearly 3 years now. You could be the next great success story. Had so many tier ones that have signed up for the program in the past. You could be the next one. Just go to SDFatLoss.com to find out more at SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Paulie thinks we may be having some phone issues. We did with Joon Lee, obviously, last hour, because they don't seem to be working right now, which makes it difficult.
People called in and then they dropped off like almost immediately.
Yeah, which makes it difficult to play Take on Woods if we can't get a phone call.
Isn't that what radio shows that don't have any listeners say when they go to the phone? It's the biggest fear in radio. Let's go to the phones, and no one calls.
I mean, I actually would not have used that excuse if we didn't just have actual phone issues that everybody did hear with Joon Lee less than an hour ago.
I mean, I could play against Paulie or something, but he has all the answers.
He has all the answers. So yeah, we're going to see if we can get an engineer to come in, check out the phones, and then we can always do it at 9:20 instead of 8:20. Upshot is, though, we got Darren Smith joining us in our next segment. Never mind a slightly extended conversation with Darren. So he will join us in just a couple of minutes, and we'll see if we can get the phones working and play a little Take on Woods in our final hour today. I did not get to mention that this is a good day for dessert lovers, Woods. It is both National Pie Day, National Rhubarb Pie Day, and International Sticky Toffee Pudding Day.
I always thought International or like National Pie Day was 3/14. PI, that's pie. But I know they also Marie Callender's or any place will be like, hey, get a free slice of pie on March 14th.
That's true, but which is still a couple of months away. What do you think of rhubarb pie? Ever had it?
Mm-hmm. It's very tart.
It is.
I've had a bite. It's super tart. I don't really want. If I'm going to eat pie, I don't want it to be tart.
But
and
when
I don't want
strawberry to it, I like the sweet and sour kind of sweet and tart combination. It's pretty tasty.
I can live without it.
But nothing really. Sticky toffee pudding's pretty delicious.
It's pretty elite. I had that when I was in Manchester and for a dessert, and it was outstanding. And it's not pudding. It's like a bread pudding.
Well, they
I don't
call
know why
every
they call
dessert
bread pudding. Yes.
Pudding.
But I'm
going to have a bowl of ice cream for pudding.
It tastes so effing good. I can't even how good sticky toffee pudding is. Are you a fan?
I am. I'm surprised you are, though, because I know you're not as giant of a fan as I am of like the dark molassesy flavors in dessert, which I feel like you get a lot of in the sticky toffee pudding.
It's so good. I love bread pudding too. I mean, there's not too many desserts your old pal Woodsy doesn't
Tres
enjoy.
leches cake?
Yeah, like tres leches.
Yeah, it's pretty good too. So you like a good wet cake.
Sure.
That's what a bread pudding is, essentially. It's just a wet piece of cake.
Wet cake, vastly superior to dry cake.
There you go.
Not a fan of dry cake at all. Yeah, not usually. I'd say always, right? Dry cake is ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Eric says, what's up with Woods and pudding? Banana pudding, bread pudding. I love pudding. Save that, I guess. I loved pudding. I could crush pudding right now.
Reminds me of a funny line from the Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis when he's interviewing Jennifer Lawrence, and he says to her, "You shouldn't be mean. It's off-putting," and she fires back, "You should be off-putting."
Ooh, that's a good line.
It was a really good line. It was
a really good line.
One of my favorites.
Yeah. I mean, look, getting off pudding should be in most of our plans, to be honest with you. But I know they're bringing the pudding back to Petco Park, which, look, I know the baseball team, we may be in a bit of shambles right now. But for me, honestly, as long as the pudding's there, I'll be there.
And that concludes the most pointless segment of radio that you'll hear today.
Yeah.
But we needed to do something without Take on Woods and get us to Darren Smith, who will join us now in a couple of minutes. My apologies for the pudding talk. We will be back with Darren Smith next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 93 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
You know, for pudding at 7 Mile Casino, at Sammy's at 7 Mile, you get the famous Messy Sundae at Sammy's, one of their legendary menu items, where you get the big giant glass and stuffed with ice cream and then chocolate and caramel sauce that's just dripping off the sides. That's a pretty good dessert, Woods, at Sammy's at 7 Mile.
There's lots of love about 7 Mile Casino. Let's start with the proximity to downtown. You don't have to drive, an hour out, park in some big, giant parking garage. Man, you go 7 miles from downtown San Diego. You'll be there. Walk right in. All the favorite card games that you love. California-style blackjack, Texas Hold'em, Pai Gow, and, of course, Baccarat as well.
You'll find a great environment that features windows that look out towards San Diego Bay. The patio is terrific. You'll find competent and friendly dealers, a great staff, comfortable chairs, just the things you're looking for, the little touches that make a card room a place you want to come back to again and again and again. Check it out today or come this weekend. The weekend brunch at Sammy's at 7 Mile, voted best in the South County, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. That's all coming up at Sammy's at 7 Mile at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
About to be joined by our friend Darren Smith, although a little breaking news during our commercial break. Adam Schefter reporting that the Buffalo Bills today will interview none other than Phillip Rivers for their head coaching job that just became available after they got rid of Sean McDermott after their playoff loss.
All right, real quick, instant reaction if you're a Bills fan. You just fired Sean McDermott for potentially for Phillip Rivers. You feeling good about that, or are you going WTF?
Both.
Yeah, and it's weird. I was kind of thinking the same thing. Phillip might be a really good football coach. I mean, the guy just lives, sleeps, breathes football all the time.
The positive attitude, again, it's very Craig Stamany, right? Phillip obviously had a
very
better career as a top performer, but Craig Stamany pitched in the big leagues a long time. Both, you hear the stories of them commanding respect, all of that, but zero experience at the biggest level as far as managing or coaching goes. So I think if you're a Bills fan, you're like, all right, our McDermott's gone. Let's see what this guy can do.
Well, I know Darren had many chances to talk to Phillip during his career. We'll ask him what he thinks right after a check of traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Covered California. Got a few things going on here. One of them, some large tire tread in middle lanes, West 8, just before the 805. Also, looks like an accident has cleared on northbound 805 near Governor. Now, eastbound 76 at Santa Fe Avenue, we have reports of a traffic alert all due to a transformer that was struck. And a couple of crashes on the coastline. One southbound 5 near Christianitos being cleared over the right shoulder. Up ahead past Encinitas Boulevard, another accident that's been cleared over to the right shoulder. Open enrollment is here. Covered California can help you make sense of benefits, deductibles, networks, and the general confusion of it all. Enroll by January 31st. Covered California, for the love of Californians. Visit coveredca.com. I'm Kelly Danek with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Catch him every Friday here on the Ben and Woods program. Darren Smith joins us now. And Darren, yeah, you've talked to Philip a lot. It's not usual that you jump from high school head coach to NFL head coach, but does this seem like a realistic possibility to you?
No. I mean, just like on the surface, absolutely not. I just, I'm trying to think as I heard you make that announcement. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Like in baseball, it's one thing, in soccer, it's one thing, but gosh, like when has somebody just with no coaching experience beyond the high school level for a season or two or whatever it's been for Philip made that kind of jump? Like having to spend time on coaching staffs for years seems like it's the pathway to becoming a head coach, even if that isn't even a coordinator position. It's just the inner workings of the NFL, of knowing all of the things that go into planning and prepping and all that sort of stuff. It's not just setting an emotional tone like you can in some other sports, and then you delegate to a coordinator. Can you come up with one off the top of your head, a guy that's never done it?
Jeff Saturday, they tried for a little bit.
Jeff
it did
Saturday.
not go that well with the Colts.
Not great. Yeah, not great. Like had one game and everybody said, oh, yeah, like this could be a real shift. And then it went right down the toilet. So I would be rooting for him if it happened. If you're going to bet on anybody to be successful in almost like an unprecedented way, I think he would be as good a bet as you can find, but I don't know. I guess I'm just sort of stuck with the normal structure of the NFL, which says that there's usually a different pathway to becoming a head coach, and like stopping your high school career to play a couple of games for the Colts. Like it just doesn't feel like that's the one for me, but I don't know.
Yeah, but here's what we're all missing. If you saw the audio and the press conference from their owner the other day, this should come as zero surprise to anyone. Yeah. I mean, when you heard that guy talk, you could 100% see him sitting in a room, leaning back, putting his feet up and going, what about Phillip Rivers? Seems to be a positive guy and running with something like that. The guy, again, did not come off great in his press conference the other day, Darren. But let's pivot, if we could, to our beloved SDFC locking up Luca Bambino, who I know is one of your he's one of those guys we've talked over the years with some of the guys we love in sports. And, we're all still fans at heart, right? It is weird when I'm 50 and I walk in the dugout, a few years ago, or I was 45 maybe, and walk in the dugout and there's young Fernando Tatis Jr. And you go, kind of takes your breath away. And you're like, all right, I need to be a professional here. And you had that visceral reaction about one Luca Bambino.
Yeah. As you guys know, we have chosen not to have children, but if this is making me question that decision.
Yeah.
Because
right.
I mean, like if I could have had a kid like Luca Bambino, hey, who's to say that maybe that wouldn't have been the game changer? No, I mean, just real salt of the earth. I'm glad they locked him up. First preseason game tomorrow against San Jose. So, he just has come in here and one of the things, they do their own internal postseason awards at the end of the year. Who's the team MVP? All that sort of stuff. And Luca Bambino won an award for the team that was the the growth mindset award. Here's a guy who came in who was a year ago playing with LAFC for like their MLS Next Pro team, which is still pretty far away from Major League Soccer, and just came in and like became an everyday starter, became one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. And on top of that, great stock, really interesting guy to chat with. I know Ben's had the opportunity to be out there a time or two. Like he just impresses you to the point where you have that conversation with yourself where you're like, there is just no way this guy is 19 years old. Like there is just no way. This is impossible. And you start projecting like, what was I like? What were we all like at that age? And it was not that. It was definitely not that. I'm a big fan. I'm glad they got him locked up. I think he has a really, really bright future. I'm glad he's going to be sticking around at least for another year here. I know he has ambitions of playing elsewhere, playing in Europe at some point. The descendant of Italians from Italy. So, that's a big deal for him and his family. And I think he's going to get that opportunity. But it just puts a smile on your face. Everything Luca Bambino does for me just puts a smile on my face. So I was really happy to see that.
First preseason match tomorrow. Now it's closed door. I don't know if that means it's closed to you, but closed to the general public.
Well, I'll be at the RJ Memorial.
I will be there as well. Yeah. Woods?
I'll be watching my kids play basketball. All right. You guys all have fun.
Woods is in quarantine, though, isn't he?
I'm fine. I'm going to my kids' basketball game instead. I made that executive decision. And weirdly enough, Darren, I've been dragged for it a little bit, which is odd.
Let's
because you could get the whole team sick or what?
No, because
he's not going to the RJ.
Because I'm going to watch my kids play basketball instead.
Well, listen, every day on this show is like an RJ Memorial. So, I also thought it was great. You guys were there for the, I love what Flan had to say out there at, out of Padres camp. Gosh, how great was that?
It was incredible.
So, it was great. And listen, the Ben and Wood show will be represented there tomorrow. So, you got a kid playing a basketball game. Like, who is anybody to judge that?
We told Woods, we know he loves RJ, just not as much maybe as the three of us, but like the love is there.
Yeah, that's fine. We all can't, love on the same level. So, listen, you got to do what you got to do. Woodsy, I don't think you should be shamed about that or feel any guilt whatsoever about being at this memorial tomorrow. To honor one of the greats of all time.
Back to SDFC quickly. Darren, how's camp going? Like, what are they working on? Like tweaks, changes from the first season. Things went so well, but as Mikey Varas said, other teams now know what's coming, so they're going to adjust, and we got to adjust back. What are these 2 exhibition games? What are they kind of working on here?
Yeah, I think it's probably integrating some of the new faces, some of the new names. We got to meet our Scottish laddie, Lewis Morgan, a week or so ago. So probably getting him some action, letting him feel what it's like to be in the rhythm with this team, because it takes a little bit of time. It took them time. I think one of the things that I know they wanted to work on is the way other teams played against SDFC at Snapdragon Stadium. Teams would come in here and they would park the bus, right? They would play this low block, and it just made life difficult. And, you can get up afterwards and you can say, well, listen, what are we supposed to do? They didn't want to play football. We wanted to play. They didn't want to play. You got to, you have to have a bit of a strategy. So I think they're probably working on ways that they can try to open up the games when teams present that to them, because that just became the way that teams would focus on playing against SDFC last year. So working on that, and then also they're probably looking at getting some more scoring opportunities from other places, other than Anders Dreyer. You don't want to go into a season where it's like, okay, Anders, you did it all last year. Do it again. We're going to be, uber reliant on you. So, just, getting guys going from the jump, getting guys going who were rookies last year, who maybe didn't contribute to the midway point of the season, building on what it is that they did. And, strategically, again, it's figuring out what those teams did to counter what you were so good at. And then, coming up with the next chess move here to try to turn it back around on them.
So you're saying, Darren, we need to be elite adjusters, as
elite adjusters.
Elite,
winners find ways, or whatever.
Winners find solutions. Yep.
Solutions.
Grit, the SDFC grit squad, 100%. Padres have been quiet right now. We all kind of agree. Going to wait till things maybe one guy or two guys slip through the cracks and get a little bit, I don't want to say desperate, but a little bit antsy to sign a deal that maybe they wouldn't have signed a month ago. Any rumors on your end that you're hearing?
No, I think that the Peralta trade was worth paying attention to, because, I had wondered if Pavetta was still out there available, maybe one of those kind of deals where you move him and you bring back a couple of pieces. So instead of one that you have for a year, you bring back a couple of controllable pieces. I don't know much about those players, who the Mets pitchers were that they were willing to part ways with, but that kind of closes the door there. Mackenzie Gore getting traded closes that door. Not that I thought it was realistic. So it does feel like it's all right. Well, let's wait and see who's getting antsy. when everybody else is going to spring training, like, let's wait and see who's getting antsy the same way it has been over the last couple of years, right? So, is that big blockbuster trade still out there simmering on a back burner? Doesn't really feel like it.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, it does feel like it will be targets of opportunity, so to speak. Like,
yes.
Who's got to go? Like, who's ready to go right now, and how can we make that happen? But it's the world of Preller, man. So it's anybody's guess. It's just like you look and you're like, I mean, you have to add. Like it's not a matter of will they. It's like they have to do it. It's just now, how will they do it? When will they do it? And who will they do it with?
I think one thing that's interesting, and I looked at a list this morning of the top 7 remaining free agents from The Athletic. Every single one of them would help the Padres. 6 of them are starting pitchers. Framber Valdez, Zach Gallen, Chris Bassett is on the list, Justin Verlander, Lucas Giolito, Max Scherzer, and then Eugenio Suarez is the batter on the list. There's not every single one of those players could potentially help the Padres. The question is, will they spend on any of them in free agency, and how low does the price need to be for them to finally, make that commitment?
Right. And what role does any of that play, even with the decision about Nolan Arenado, right? Like, was that a decision where, Arizona just beat you to the trade with what it was that they were willing to give up? Or was it like, I don't know. I don't know if that's financially, I'm not trying to be funny. Like, I don't know that wasn't a factor as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think they obviously have to be pretty shrewd in what it is that they're going to do here. And I mean, I don't have the same visceral, like, negative reaction to Justin Verlander that I've seen other people have. I don't. Especially knowing exactly what
actually
it is you're getting.
Verlander posted 2 runs or fewer in 13 of his last 15 starts, 1.78 ERA in his last 6 starts last year. So there's still something in there. I mean, I could see AJ Preller going that direction to add some depth to his starting rotation, Darren.
Yeah, and plus we know that AJ likes, coveting names, right? Like that's sort of been something that we've seen. Now it hasn't worked. There's times where that doesn't really work. But to your point, it's not like you're just taking a flyer on a guy that's been rotten for a couple of years. Like there is still a little something there, especially if you're putting him in a position where you're not going to say like, hey, okay, go out there and lead us, big boy. Like, we're all looking at you. Like, we're all relying on you here. Like, probably bringing him in to be like a 4 at this point, which, that's not a bad 4 to have. That you win a lot of games if you have better 4s and 5s than other teams.
Darren, also Kate Upton, just by the way, just FYI.
Yeah, I mean, listen, what are we like? Why are we burying the lead on this one?
Yeah, let's not bury the lead at all.
Yeah, let's get MLB TV down in mud. Like how many times can we put a headset on Kate?
Oh, God, I mean, can you imagine?
No offense, Michael King, but like,
yeah, no offense, Michael King, but like, we're talking at least once a homestand. I mean, if I'm Mud and Don making that happen, so maybe even a guest appearance on Ben and Woods. You never know. These are the things that you have to think about. But I think I would be in favor of that on a 1 year deal.
That is the prestige value. That's the prestige value that we were taught once upon a time that comes
That's exactly
with
right.
some of these signings. Yes, that is real prestige value. Eric Hosmer, not so much.
Not so much.
Verlander, Justin, Kate Upton, that's
yes.
prestige value.
Darren, appreciate it. Some of us will see you out at Petco Park tomorrow. Looking forward to it.
We are looking forward to it. Yes, I will look forward to seeing you guys. Woodsy, feel better. Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
Darren Smith on our David P. Shapiro fan hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. At some point, we can go into that list a little bit deeper. It doesn't even include Nick Castellanos and Luis Arraez, who also, potentially could be helpful to the Padres. So we'll have 1 hour left. Paulie's got his Reindl Report. Biggest fan coming up next as well. Don't go away. We continue here on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Final hour of Ben and Woods on a Friday, going until 10 o'clock this morning. Still have a bunch to get to, including the Reindl Report. Also have a San Diego Seals game tonight. They are on the road in Philadelphia, Woods. They've been team. They've won every road game, I think, and lost every home game, which is
correct.
Very odd in whatever sport you're playing, to be undefeated on the road and winless at home.
Yeah, I mean, for a PA announcer too, Derek Togerson, who replaced me, that's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah,
just a complete and total nightmare. No home wins, and it's a nightmare for the team. You know, when you don't go out there and get it done at home.
But they're 2-0 on the road, looking to go 3-0, and they're 0-3 at home. So they'll come back next Friday for their next home game against the same team. It's a home and home against Philadelphia. So they got that tonight. First, before we do anything else, it's time for us to get to the biggest fan today. If you hear your name called, you'll have 10 minutes to call us back at 833-288-0973. I believe we've gotten the phone lines working, so we can play some Take on Woods later this hour as well. If you call us back, you will qualify for our grand prize, 20 nights, 20 tickets for you and your friends for one night in our Odyssey Suite.
20
you do not
nights.
get 20 nights in the Odyssey Suite. I'm sorry. 20 tickets for one night. It is catered by Spiro's Mediterranean Cuisine. This morning's biggest fan is Rigo Rodriguez from San Diego. Rigo Rodriguez from San Diego. Call us now at 833-288-0973, and we'll put you into the drawing for our grand prize.
Yeah, we know Rigo Rodriguez. Good luck, buddy.
All right, call now. And while we do that, let's get to our Reindl Report today with Paulie.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's real quick before we get started, go to line number 1. Caller, who's this?
Hey, it's Rod. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Rod. Do you know Rigo?
Yeah, that's me.
That's also you. Congratulations, then. Hey, Rod, you are our biggest fan.
You guys don't know, Ben, but I shortened Rod from, I shortened Rigoberto Jose Luis de la Cruz Carlos Rodriguez III to Rod.
Wow.
I would just go with that, honestly, but maybe Rod's easier.
Yeah, Rod's a little bit easier.
But thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Congrats, buddy.
Well, Rodrigo, congratulations, and we will put your name into the drawing for the biggest fan. Let you know if you won at the end of the contest. Thank you very much. Good for Rigo.
Good stuff there. Love it. All right, let's get started here. I'm going to start in the NFL. I think this press conference actually happened yesterday with Miami introducing their new GM and their new head coach for the Dolphins. But I saw all the clips rolling out today, and Dolphins owner Stephen Ross getting dragged a little bit, and I don't know if that's warranted
is that
or
cool?
not.
Is that cool to drag him?
He's how old is Stephen Ross? Let me actually.
He's long in the tooth.
Very
is he not?
old. I know that.
85 years old.
Yeah.
It says here. So 85 years old. Probably not the best look though for the owner of a team, announcing a GM and a head coach. If you have to look down at paper to remember their names, Dolphins fans were a little bit confused. And I'll play about a minute or so here of the press conference.
Stood out far and above anybody we spoke to. I know the first conversation we could have with him was via Zoom, and it's about 10 minutes into it, I just said, hey, this is our guy. And I'm very, very thrilled to really,
Yes.
It sounds good so far.
Yes.
Sounds like an older guy, but sounds good and pretty sharp so far.
Correct. Now you're going to hear him. He kind of pulls away from the mic just a little bit. That's him looking down at the paper if you're not watching along here. So we continue.
This is our guy. And I'm very, very thrilled to really, welcome John Eric Sullivan
Had to look down.
as our general manager.
That's his name. Okay.
Then we had to go out and find the coach, and I thought maybe he was really be partial to, the Green Bay Packers, but we really totally thorough, and he was totally objective. And after interviewing, talking to people, they were all really great candidates. I think the enthusiasm, the knowledge, the background, Jeff stood out amongst them all. So we were really fortunate.
Jeff, that's right. That's his name. Jeff
Hafley.
So he goes on, and then they introduce the coach and the GM.
Maybe he was nervous.
I think. Well, first of all, his GM's name is John Eric, John-Eric, which is that's like two first names that you have to remember, not just one. And they're both pretty bland.
Is it like John Eric?
No, it's John Eric. His name is John Eric. That's his name. He's not just John.
That's his full name.
His name is John-Eric. John Eric.
What do you mean? Why do you keep saying hyphen?
Well, there's a hyphen between the John and the Eric.
Like
Eric is not his middle
name.
His first name is John Eric.
See, it's John Eric.
Yes,
but it's not John Eric.
I didn't say John Eric. I said John Eric.
The hyphen's important because it separates the John and the Eric, but it's John Eric.
John Eric.
John Eric.
John Eric.
Yes.
Okay. So what does that have to do with him not remembering the new coach's name?
Well, and after you work so hard to try to get John Eric, then Jeff just is like, what was his name again? I had to remember two names for the GM.
He's your brand new head coach. Brand new. Like to introduce you guys to my new co-host.
As if the three of us aren't going to forget Jeff Hafley's name in about 5 minutes.
Frost is my married name. I'm single now, and I never bothered to remove the hyphen. I actually get complimented on it all the time.
That's right. John Eric.
John Eric. All right, this has gone on way too long. Anyways, there's your football.
He's old, guys. He's an old man.
I agree with you. I agree 100%. All right, I want to move forward. Also in the world of football. Now, we have talked over the years about fantasy football punishments. Usually leagues might call it the toilet bowl. The last two teams duking it out in the final game. Loser of the whole league has to do something crazy. Some sort of something that's been agreed upon by everybody.
This is unreal.
I found something so much worse than any of those punishments that we talked about. Now, I don't play fantasy football anymore. There's no chance I would play in this league.
Who would?
Traditionally,
You'd have to be a lunatic.
I've played in leagues that are, somewhat big money, like $100, $200 buy-ins, and then you have like the $20 buy-ins. And usually, like at least first place, you're going to win some money. Second place, maybe you win your money back, or even more. And then third place wins their money back. That's a typical payout structure in fantasy football. But there was a league going around. They went viral like a week ago for this fantasy football league called the All Pain No Gain League, where even the winner, your only prize is you don't have to do something awful.
Correct.
If you win the entire league. So I don't know that there was even any buy-ins for this league, but here's how we'll start from the top. So if you win the league, you're good. You don't have to do anything.
But you win nothing.
And you win nothing. You just don't have to do anything bad.
No punishments.
Second place. Again, traditionally, you might win some money or at least get your money back.
Yeah.
So if you came in second place in this league, you have to camp outside of the winner of the league's house for 4 days.
Oh, my God.
Thursday night through Sunday morning, an entire weekend of 4 days.
That's the second place prize.
That's for second place.
That's for second place.
The third place game here said the winner has to spend 12 hours in Florabama, which I believe is like a beachfront bar in the Florabama shore area, wearing a ski suit in July for the 12 hours. You're sitting at a bar on the beach in Miami or in Florida.
Roasting.
In a ski suit.
Humid, hot, sweaty in a ski suit.
That's if you win the third place game. If you lose the third place game, you have to be a street performer, a bucket drummer in the French Quarter of New Orleans until you have to do it until you earn $50 from donations on the street.
That could take days.
Or it could take 20 minutes.
I think
like a big
that would be
bucket
awesome.
or something. You're just drumming on it. Like you have to get $50 worth of donations, and
That's
then you're
awesome.
done. That one's not that bad.
That one, I mean, first of all, you're hanging out in the French Quarter. I've always wanted to play those buckets. I'm a pretty good. I came up with a theory the other day. I would be a really excellent drummer if there were no foot pedals to drums, right? There was no bass drum and no hi-hat. If I didn't have to also do the feet, I would be an elite drummer with just 2 sticks and the drums in front of me. Like
Can
I
you do
would
the cymbals too?
Yeah, the cymbal, but
All right.
no hi-hat that has the foot pedal and no bass drum.
Yeah.
And you take those out of the equation. If that's the drumming, I would be really, really good. I cannot work the feet in.
I took a handful of drum lessons when I was like 10 years old because my parents knew somebody that was a pretty good drummer, had a whole set at home. And I tried to learn, and you're totally right, dude. I could handle everything like in front of me with my hands. It was once you get the feet involved with the kick drum or the cymbal or anything like that, the hi-hat, like you said, it was too much going on all at once. They're like, hey, the drummer is the timekeeper. You can't be off beat.
I don't know how.
I'm out.
How do you make the sticks go fast enough to do a drum roll? Because anytime I picked it up, mine are always so slow. I can never do the.
You start slow and then you build up, and go.
And just keep going faster and faster.
Yeah, faster and faster.
Seems like it would be very difficult.
All right,
it is difficult.
Continue here on the Fantasy Football League. The 5th, 6th place game. If you win, your punishment is to audition for a role in a local Peter Pan play.
Oh my God, that is horrible. Horrible.
Says here the 6th, 7th place game has to spend their 6th and 7th place winners have to spend their own money. This one's mean, I think. Fly to a WNBA game in another city, buy a courtside seat, watch the game without drinking, and then immediately fly home without enjoying anything in that new city at all.
That is kind of mean.
Nope.
That's mean.
That's a shot at the WNBA.
Paulie, ring the bell.
I will ring the bell.
That's a misogyny bell.
And finally, if you lose and come in last place this fantasy football league, your
electric
punishment, right?
Yeah,
your
Draw 'em and
punishment
quarter.
is that person must get a job at Burger King, work one shift. You have to interview, get the job offer, and work one shift, and then you can quit.
A day at Burger King.
What if you don't get hired? Then
you got to keep trying. You got to keep applying to different
Burger Kings until you get hired.
Burger Kings. Yeah, my problem there, I'd be getting high off my own supply back there. I promise you, because I do love a Whopper. I will eat a Whopper. I'm not kidding.
So, I don't like fantasy football punishments at all. They serve one purpose, and it's a decent purpose. It's to keep the teams at the bottom trying. So they don't impact the top of the league. There's an actual function to the deterrent of not finishing last. So you don't just give up at the end and automatically lose your last couple of games because that affects the league. So you have to keep trying to avoid the punishment. But the purpose of an all punishment league is just way beyond me. Fantasy football is supposed to be entertaining and enjoyable, not
just stress you out the whole time.
Not just pain and stress.
The guy that organized, I think the guy that won the league, actually, he put out like a 2 or 3 minute TikTok video kind of explaining all of the punishments.
Even he has to have someone living in his backyard for 4 days.
Yeah,
that's not great either.
He was talking about how it was like maybe the 5th, 6th place game. One guy was like, "Oh, I don't mind actually losing. I'd rather lose this championship than win it because of the punishment." And he tried to throw the game, and he still got the wrong result that he was trying to avoid.
That's fantastic and awful.
I saw another punishment. It was the loser had to eat as many. They could only eat hot dogs for every meal until they passed Joey Chestnut's world record, which
my God,
had to be like 70 or 80 hot dogs. So until you finish that amount.
So even if you had like 3 hot dogs
a day
at every meal, I mean, that'd be a week of nothing but hot dogs.
Oh God! Can't do it.
That could kill you.
Can't do that. All right, finally, I want to wrap it up with a little music story here. Got this story about Vinnie Vincent, who I'm not super familiar with. He's an ex-member of Kiss, which I am familiar with them. What can you tell us, Woodsy, first of all, about Vinnie Vincent?
So he actually, I mean, he was a really, really good guitar player. But he was one of the guys that joined Kiss when they took the makeup. Like, he started with makeup, and then he was one of the guys when they took the makeup off live on MTV in 1983. He was one of the guys that was there when they took the makeup off. And he had his own solo band called the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. It's not great. It's not great, but he was like a shredder. But back then, everybody kind of shredded. I was an Ace Frehley guy, right? That's the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. But that's not him singing. He was a guitar player.
Got it. Okay.
But he was like he's shredded.
Yeah,
shredded.
I can hear it. Okay. I can hear that.
Yeah.
So he is he's holding on to a new album right now, and he's calling it self-proclaimed the greatest album of all time, and he's refusing to release this album.
I'm gonna push back on that.
He's calling it's called a Judgment Day Guitarmageddon, and he is refusing to release this album unless you pay $200 a song.
Oh, okay.
So now it's definitely starting to sound like a Kiss thing.
Yeah, definitely. Kiss is still in his blood.
He said he would. Go ahead.
Can I tell you guys the teasers, the name of the teasers of the two songs that he put out there? So you can listen to the teaser and decide, do I want to spend $200 on Vinnie Vincent's new record, formerly of Kiss? First song, Ben, is called Heavy Metal Poontang. Okay?
Uh-huh.
The next one, have to be very careful. Another word for a rooster, blankadoodle-doo, teaser. Yep. Play it again.
Oh.
Teaser with a Z. Now, those are the two teased songs.
He also,
so you can listen to
it says
that.
here a single Ride the Serpent is described as a nearly 8-minute intense guitar power drive.
Okay.
So
what do you
$200 a song is what he's asking for this album. He said he would release like one song at a time as collector singles, which are individually signed and numbered CDs that cost $200 plus shipping, and it only has one song on it, and he will only actually send them out once he hits 1,000 pre-sales on those $200 CDs for one song each.
Oh my God.
Says here his website lists 18 song titles, and then it says and more, but with 18 song titles at $200 a pop, you're looking at $3,600 for the whole album, Judgment Day Guitarmageddon.
It's not the normal normal business model for music. Normally, you get to hear the song maybe on the radio or streaming and then decide if you want to buy the album. You don't usually have to buy music. I guess it wouldn't be sight unseen, but sound unheard before you know what you're getting.
Ben, how much are you dropping for Ride the Serpent, by the way?
I'm wondering if this is a model we should employ. Should we just wait until like tier ones come up with like every time you come up with $5,000, we'll do
we'll do a segment.
We'll do a segment. Yeah, $200 a segment.
This is incredible. Maybe he's a revolutionary in the business world. What? So you think this dude's sitting at home asking his wife, anything? No, nothing yet, Benny. How about now? Is it Benny? No. This is terror. Just put it out and see if somebody wants to buy it. Check it now. See if anything's come in now.
Is there any sort of money back guarantee or anything like?
Yeah,
you like this song? Or
Vinny, I just spent $200 on Heavy Metal Blanktang, and it sucks. Can I get my money back? Paulie, do you have the names of the other songs?
I'm trying to pull it up, see if I can get.
I mean, I can't wait. I can't wait. He's always been the weirdest guy. And again, he replaced Ace Frehley. So, nobody was going to be fully on board. He could play. I mean, he could play. He played like the wind, man, but he just never had the look, and clearly fancies himself as something more than he is. But I mean, he's not gonna make a dime off this thing.
I don't think so. I don't think
All
so.
right. Okay. All right. Well, if anybody buys it, please let me know. I'm dying to. If you have that kind of extra income,
there's a bunch. I Googled it, and there's a bunch of YouTube videos. It's like, oh, I bought one of the albums. Here's what it sounds like. So I got to figure it all out for you, but I will let you know. Keep you updated.
Paulie, just so you know, my son has a doubleheader tonight in football. The minute that's over, I'll be home in bed. Down this Vinnie Vincent.
We're gonna come in on Monday. Monday morning.
I'll
be like, I spent like $2,400.
He got me. Thank you. That was a brilliant Reindl.
Thank you, Paulie. And since you're looking for potential children's names, Woody Woods could be one for your family to use if Vinnie Vincent works.
Oh, Vinnie Vincent, Woody Woods.
Woody Woods.
Not terrible.
All right, phones are working again, so we're going to play a little delayed edition of Take on Woods and try to qualify someone else for the trip to Las Vegas. Call now, 833-288-0973. You can pick music, TV, or movies. We'll give you the categories when we come back, but you got to call now, 833-288-0973. We'll do that up next after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan. First, though, one last chance to tell you about SDFatLoss.com. It's your way to lose weight with no injections. And yes, you hear stories about the injections. People do lose weight on them, but do you know they could come with potential side effects, including like muscle loss, and you have to stay on those injections or you're just going to gain the weight back. That's been shown as well. With SDFatLoss.com, you're losing weight a sustainable, healthy way by eating real foods that you're not going to be changing as soon as you go off the plan. The maintenance phase is part of SDFatLoss.com. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. You can expect to lose up to 10 to 20% of your body weight in those 60 days by going online and setting up your free consultation at SDFatLoss.com. And right now, with their New Year's sale extended, you can get 20% off and get some of the best prices of the year right now. By going to SDFatLoss.com. Do it today. No exercise required to lose the weight. Just a new you. By the time the baseball season starts, you could be 10 to 20% of your weight down at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com, and we are about to go out to the phones for our contestant because it is finally time to play a little Take on Woods. Take on Woods, actually our first time playing this week since we were off Monday, sick Tuesday, and Woods wasn't there Wednesday for Real or Fake. So this is it, and Stan is going to be our contestant this morning. Hello, Stan.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, here's what we've got for you. We got 3 categories, either music, TV, or movies. And if you can beat or tie Woods, we're going to put you into our grand prize drawing for the trip for 2 to Las Vegas to see Sammy Hagar at Dolby Live, 2 residencies, March and September at Dolby Live, plus a 2-night stay at the Park MGM and a $100 gas card. Get your tickets for Sammy Hagar at Ticketmaster.com. All right, Woods is taking off his headphones so he doesn't hear this part of our competition. Here are your category choices. We've got movies, Lost and Finding. Those are movies with either Lost or Finding in the title. TV is The Replacements. Those are TV shows in which one major character was just replaced midstream with another. And our music category is all 2-second songs. It's called Comebackers. Each song title begins with the word come, C-O-M-E. So, C-O-M-E, come. All right, we've got your movies, Lost and Finding, TV, The Replacements, or music, The Comebackers. What would you like to play, Stan?
Yeah, we got to go with the movies.
Going with the movies. All right, Lost and Finding, not Lost and Found. Lost in Finding. We've got 5 movie titles that include either the word lost or finding in the name. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. You go first. Woods goes second. We'll compare scores at the end. Stan, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when I begin reading the first question. Good luck, Stan. Let's take on Woods. Albert Brooks provides the voice of a clownfish searching for his lost son, in which 2003 animated Disney mega hit.
Finding Nemo.
Correct. Which 1981 blockbuster starring Harrison Ford launched the Indiana Jones franchise?
Yep.
Bill Murray earned a Best Actor Oscar nomination for his role as Bob Harris, an aging American actor who travels to Tokyo to promote Suntory whiskey, in which 2003 Sofia Coppola film.
Oh. Yep.
Johnny Depp stars as Peter Pan author J.M. Barrie, in which 2004 biographical fantasy.
Neverland.
Correct. Corey Haim and Jason Patrick play teen brothers who move into a vampire-infested town in California, in which 1987 film, often considered a horror comedy cult classic.
Lost Boys.
Correct. Which 1981 blockbuster starring Harrison Ford launched the Indiana Jones franchise?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, you got it just in time before the buzzer. I heard the start of Raiders. I'm giving you 4 out of 5 there. You got Finding Nemo, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Finding Neverland, and The Lost Boys. Lost in Translation, the only one you didn't get with Bill Murray. Let's get Woods back on his headset, because I think this could be a close competition. Stay on the line, Stan. We'll see how your score does. We got a movies category, but Woods doesn't get the category.
Hello?
There you go.
Hello.
Yeah, movies category today, Woods. 5
right,
questions,
movies.
but you don't get the category.
Okay.
We'll put 60 seconds back on the clock. Your time begins when when I start reading the first question. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Stan. Albert Brooks provides the voice of a clownfish searching for his lost son, in which 2003 animated Disney mega hit.
Finding Nemo.
Correct. Which 1981 blockbuster starring Harrison Ford launched the Indiana Jones franchise?
That's Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Correct. Bill Murray earned a Best Actor Oscar nomination for his role as Bob Harris, an aging American actor who travels to Tokyo to promote Suntory whiskey.
Lost in Translation.
Correct. Johnny Depp stars as Peter Pan author J.M. Barrie, in which 2004 biographical fantasy that earned an Oscar nomination for Best Picture.
Johnny Depp. Pass.
Corey Haim and Jason Patrick play teen brothers who move into a vampire
The Lost Boys.
Correct. Johnny Depp stars as Peter Pan author J.M. Barrie, in which 2004 biographical fantasy.
Lost in Neverland.
Ooh, Finding Neverland.
Finding
you were
Neverland.
so close, because it was Lost and Finding were the 2 words. 4-4. So Stan sneaks it out with the tie and qualifies for the grand prize. But a well-played game today in a movies category. Lost and Finding. Yeah. He had trouble with Raiders of the Lost Ark, too. You both kind of had to think about that one for a while.
Yeah. I was like, is it the Temple? No, it's not the Temple of Doom. Elite films, by the way. Elite.
Some good ones there. Lost in Translation.
Yes,
Bill,
that's
Bill
such a
Murray
good
classic.
movie. So good.
I know you don't like animated movies, but Finding Nemo is
It's a
always
great one.
good, right?
Yeah, it's a great. Both my kids love that.
All right.
All-time favorite of Pixar, yeah.
All right, hang on the line, Stan. Paul will get your information during our break, and then we will come back with the final segment of Ben and Woods. Paulie's done some secret recording of Woods during the show today, so we'll play the audio for you.
You okay over there, bud?
I'm great. Why?
Tell you after the break, I guess.
Coming up next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
All right, it's Woodsy one more time for Eco Water, talking about morning rituals. The first thing I do when I wake up is I reach over and I take a big giant slug of my Eco Water right here in my big jug. You know, I love my big jugs of water over here. But listen, everybody agrees. Top nutrition experts, the best thing you can do for your body the minute you wake up, indulge in a large, tall glass. Yeah, I do. I still have those jugs full of Eco Water. Chilled glass of liquid clarity. It's a deep soak for your system, sharpens your focus. Make sure everything runs beautifully smooth. You got to ditch the plastic bottles, though. Break that habit today. Get the Eco Water system put in your home. Brings the soft life right to your kitchen with mineral-rich alkaline water, the best water you can drink. Balances your pH, fuels your body. with the best water that you can get. No plastic, no poison, just satisfaction every time. Listen, this is for my family, our pets. I mean, it truly, take care of your family. Get rid of hard water right now. Call 760-754-1960, 760-754-1960, or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. EcoWater's been keeping it soft since 1925. He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
From the Bill House Studios, we know how. It is the final segment of the week for Ben and Woods. Just checking my my golf scores. New year, same results. Second round of the American Express in La Quinta. Scotty Scheffler on top of the leaderboard again at 11 under par. This guy is unbelievable. I mean, he has just dominated, and it looks like he's starting and picking up where he left off with a solid 9 under yesterday, and he's already 2 under early in his round today, tied for the lead out there in the desert. And then, of course, next week, it's all coming to Torrey Pines for the Farmers Insurance Open. Scotty Scheffler not in the field, but do have a number of good players, including Xander Schauffele, going to make his season debut next week at Torrey Pines. And I'm looking forward to going out there and checking out some golf next week. We got one more check of traffic. Paulie has surreptitiously been recording Woods, and I have not heard the audio yet, but I'm looking forward to it. It's coming up next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Wrapping things up with a few problems here, guys. One of them is this collision on the Park Boulevard on-ramp to South 163, South 5. Also on the coastline, southbound 5 Christianitos, accident over the right shoulder. And you're still going to find some traffic control enclosures in place along eastbound 76 at Santa Fe Drive, all due to a transformer that was hit. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
So, Paulie, why have you been recording Woods?
Well, let's just say I am very much looking forward to Monday morning. Hopefully, Woodsy, you're able to be back here in studio with us. It's better to have all of us here in the same room together. Just everything flows a little bit more naturally. But the real reason is, and it's totally selfish, I'm the only one impacted by this, but when we go to like a commercial break, we have the ability to still talk to each other, me and Ben here in the studio and you at your house. We can talk down the line and talk about the upcoming segment or whatever. But when you leave your headset on that whole time, I've been able to hear everything. And like we've talked about this in the past, you're heavy breathing, you're aware of that.
Breather. Yes.
But there's also like it'll be dead silent in here, during a commercial break. Maybe I'm editing some audio. Ben's looking up something on his computer, and then all of a sudden,
Bella Danger, probably.
Yeah, maybe. And then
Scotty Scheffler, more likely.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I would hear. Because I might pull one ear off of my headphones, but I got to keep you on this ear so that I can still hear in case you're like, hey, Paulie, what did you say we're going to do in this next segment or anything like that?
No.
And then I started hearing other noises, and I started hearing, I go, he's eating crackers, I think, is what it sounds like.
I'm not eating crackers.
Well, anyways, I digress. I eventually just said, you know what? I'm just going to roll on this. I didn't say anything. As far as you knew, you were completely off the record.
Living my life.
We could have still were chatting if we needed to, but here's just about 30 seconds of what I have had to hear for 4 hours. All day today, all day yesterday.
Everyone, be quiet. Let's get this raw.
Clicking a mouse and eating something.
Cough drop.
Okay. Oh God.
Jesus. I'm so sorry. I
think it was
no excuse.
The drinking of the eco water jug, I think, is what almost murdered me.
You know when someone pays you a nice compliment and says, that guy, he's a real bulldog.
Yes, I'm a literal bulldog.
You're a literal bulldog. You make the same sounds that bulldogs make.
While we're on First of all, Paulie, your wife just said, "Are you in the trash?"
You did sound like a bulldog. I'm nosing through the trash, breathing, chewing, slurping up your water, and then nosing through the trash can to see what you can find.
I am dead. I am so dead. Are you in the trash?
Just crunching on a cough drop.
Yeah. I've got one in now currently as well. I'm trying to soothe my throat and just trying to live my life. That's literally all I'm trying to do. I just let me live. And I sound like I'm dying because I don't feel great. I don't feel great. But
I think, Paulie, if you had to listen to that for 4 hours, I think you can apply for like workman's comp or something.
yeah, I could actually get sued for this by Paulie.
This is harassment.
This is horrible.
Oh.
That is absolutely horrible. I apologize.
I'm like, are you chewing on the headset, like the mouthpiece of the headset? Like, what is going on? Jesus.
My chest is burning right now. I've laughed. I feel like I'm hacking up lungs, man. It's not good. It is not good. I do apologize. People have to listen to that, especially Paulie.
Nobody else heard it. It's during the commercial
Gator
break.
Padre says, "What's just getting his kibble?"
Yeah, getting my kibble, just getting after dinner. Holy cow, man. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Paulie. You don't deserve that. Nobody does. Nobody.
It's been a while.
Nobody does.
It's been a minute since you've been separate from us. I guess maybe Hawaii last summer probably had to deal with it, but you weren't sick is the problem. Like it was just some heavy breathing if you didn't take off your headset. Now I've got the chewing, the drinking, the coughing, the sneezing,
You get it all.
Oh my God.
You get it all. Yeah, me in Hawaii was a difference. So I was very relaxed, feeling very healthy and strong, and now I'm not. I just feel like garbage right now. But we persevere. Good God.
Like that sounds like a fat bulldog lapping up water out of his bowl.
Yeah, lapping up water and then going to tip the trash can over and eat and lick the wrappers of Mickey D's is what it sounds like. That that little piece of cheese that is always on the Mickey D wrapper. That bulldog has nosed it out. He's gonna get that cheese if it kills him. Look.
Happy to eat the whole wrapper just to get that tiny piece of cheese.
And you guys know that little corner of cheese I'm talking about on every Mickey D's wrapper. It's there. They should. Here's a $100
the
idea.
Corner of a Kraft single that didn't totally melt.
Just sell. How about this, Mickey D's? You're already selling the McRib. Why don't you sell just a bag full of those little cheese corners, and people would lap those up just like I did. Holy smokes. Well, listen, we're almost to the end of the show, and I wanted to announce before we left that the men's mental health group that I started last year, we will continue into 2026. It's called The Work, and we're going to do it on Sunday. We're doing a Sunday session at 11 a.m. Of course, we're back at the Lost Abbey Sanctuary, which is in San Marcos. Again, 11 a.m. Sunday. It's an hour. Men, if you are feeling alone, lost, whatever it may be, need somebody to talk to, need somebody to listen to, we're here for you. And it's been a great thing and something I'm very proud of and enjoy doing. So Sunday, 11 a.m. I know it probably is going to interrupt maybe some football.
Football doesn't start until noon, so you actually perfect timing. Yeah, you do 11 a.m., do an hour of football or an hour of the work, and then you can get right to your football in the afternoon.
Yeah, exactly. And no, I don't think I'm contagious anymore. Purple. I will keep my distance. Certainly, we don't French kiss at this meeting, not yet. So it's just come in, place to be heard, and get things off your chest. So
yeah,
look forward to seeing you guys Sunday at 11.
Strong mental health is good, but Woods, physical health is also important. And we both failed in that task.
We did.
Pretty miserably this past week.
We did. Thanks to the tier ones for always being supportive and hanging with us. And hopefully we're back Monday feeling 100%.
Which would be nice. Tomorrow afternoon, 1 o'clock, as I mentioned, San Diego State playing a nationally televised game on CBS against UNLV, trying to bounce back from that loss to Grand Canyon. Don't want to let one loss turn into 2 losses. So pretty important college basketball game. And by the way, a good win for UCSD last night here on 97.3 The Fan. They went on the road, beat UC Davis. So that was an important one because they remained a game out of first place. And tomorrow night, they'll host UC Irvine, who's one of the 2 teams ahead of them in first place at Lion Tree Arena. So they have a big one tomorrow night at 7 o'clock against the Anteaters coming to town. That's a little look at what's ahead on this weekend. We'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. for hopefully a full and healthy week of Ben and Woods. For our executive producer, Paul Reindl, and Stephen Woods, I'm Ben Higgins. Braden and Frank coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Have a great Friday and a great weekend, everybody. So long.